Welcome back to another episode of the Everybody Can't Go podcast, number one independent podcast in the world. Stay tuned, keep it locked, because another episode is about to drop in 3, 2, 1.
Willmatic TV.
New York City, stand the fuck up. Yeah. Respectfully. Hey yo. WILLMATI to the CTV. Ladies and gentlemen. I'm not even gonna hold you. Alright, man. I'm not even gonna try to we're not even gonna sugarcoat it. We're not gonna sugarcoat it at all, as a matter of fact. This episode, it's gonna be a lot of hip hop. It's gonna be a lot of rap. It's gonna be a lot of bars. Listen, man. I feel like they left me with no choice this week, quite frankly, and it's just so crazy, man. The art of knowing when to hold and when to fold. This episode almost went out a week and a half ago, quite frankly. And let's just say that I would probably have to spin the block today. I probably wouldn't even have had a full week to let that episode marinate on the DSPs, because, ladies and gentlemen, we are in chaos mode once again. I already dropped that episode at the top of the year. It's a beautiful time. I feel like it's a beautiful time to be a podcaster. Yeah. Everybody miking up right now with their hot takes, and some lukewarm takes. Some of the takes is lukewarm. Some of these takes that we heard these takes already. You know what I'm saying? Some of these takes are definitely recycled. All right, so this is the situation. This is the situation, and this is the matter at hand. Clearly, first of all, shout out to everybody tuned in to this episode. I appreciate you all for tuning in. We have an amazing episode this week on the Everybody Can't Go podcast. Just about, a little bit of everything going on right now. Obviously, we still have the NBA playoffs underway. Very, very exciting. Very, very, unpredictable, to say the least. We currently have 4 teams left. And realistically, I didn't even get my songs out of the way. I'm jumping ahead. I'm a little excited. I am. Like I said, it's an exciting time. It's a very, very exciting time. It's a lot of things going on. It's a lot of energy in the atmosphere. It's feeling like deja vu or something. I don't know, man. Because if we look back, if we flip the calendar back a year ago today, things that are currently taking place, we'll get into more detail as the episode progresses, because you already know. Listen, man, it's a slow build up. I like to kind of build this up. Something like one of my blunts. You know what I'm saying? I build this shit up from top to bottom. Before we actually get into the episode, I know I gotta set the tone, right? Yeah. I feel like, come on, man. It's only right. Each and every episode, I like to, basically hit y'all with a few songs to kind of just, get you acquainted. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when you walk into a room, that song that's playing in the background, listen, man, that's how you set the tone. You know what I'm saying? To allow everybody to kind of see and know what's basically going on and what's getting ready to happen. Y'all already know what this is. Everybody Can't Go podcast, number one independent podcast in the world, and we ain't doing that much capping. You got to do a little cap. So with that being said, I know I got to wave my flag, right? New York City. Put your lighters up. Let's get it. Everybody can go. Whoa.
I come from Bed-Stuy. The niggas either do or they gon' die. Gotta keep the ratchet close by. Someone murdered. Nobody seen, nobody heard it. Just another funeral service. Niggas will get at you. Come through shining, they yap you. And broad daylight kidnap you. Let's get clapped through. Police stay on us like tattoos. Niggas only grind cause we have to. Money is power. Sling, crack, weed, and powder. Fiends come through every hour. It's all about that dollar. And we no deal with cowards. Weak lambs get devoured by the lion in the concrete jungle. The strong stand
Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, Harlem, stand up, New York.
Brooklyn, home of the greatest rappers. Big comes first and the cream comes after. Now put your lighters up.
That's what I came to do.
Put your lighters up. New York, put your lighters up.
If you from the city, if you from the town,
put your lighters up.
It ain't time to put them down.
Put your lighters up.
Everybody can go.
Keep putting them lighters up. No matter where you're from, put your lighters up. Let me give you a walkthrough, show you what to do and you don't do. Where's not safe to go to? The boys approach you. Better stay quick or you close to. Don't come through if niggas don't know you. Cause people is talking, the streets is watching, the D's is lurking. That's the 9 in the garbage. The life of a hustler, the life of a gambler. Dice games kill more niggas than cancer. You know who you fuck with. Brooklyn don't run, we run shit. Roll up and just bum rush it. We don't play that out in BK, not at all. 4 pound, leave your face on the wall. R.I.P. in memory of. Never show thy enemies love. We get it on where we live. Better have a pass when you cross that bridge. Welcome to Brooklyn. Put your lighters up. LA, put your lighters up. VA, put your lighters up. Texas, keep putting your lighters up. New Orleans, put your lighters up. St. Louis, put your lighters up. ATL, keep putting them lighters up. No matter where you're from, put your lighters up. Damn, homie, I'm so toe. And I don't think I'm ever gonna smoke no more. And I don't think I'm ever gonna drink no more. Well, fucking bartender, you can give me one more. We in the club like, damn, homie, I'm so toe.
Yo. Number one independent podcast on the planet. God damn it. Stay tuned and keep it locked. Another episode about to drop. I swear. New York.
Laying in the cut like a bandage. Come through Fulton Street in the Vanquish. Doing them damage. And if you don't understand it, then let me give it to you in Spanish.
DX, stand up. Let's get it.
You don't know if I got a gun, it's fun. From the X side of things, spaghetti inside my rings. Everything I want, I get by being it's mine. I shine like money that sound like Biggie. Fuck around my town, boogie down my city. Come around, get pound, do the crown, no pity. Watch the sound, 4 pound, 20 round milli. Get smacked silly for coming out your mark. I'm known for bouncing thugs from the tunnel to the salsa clubs. Don't matter, put the chrome to your powder, splatter your abs. Have you pissing in the plastic bag? That's a drag, now you abnormal. But let me grab the rumble and put some motherfucking stabs on you. The night is young and I'm already fighting, hiding my gun. Promoted bugging, screaming, who the fuck invited Bud? Beside the dawn, live long, get your party on. Don't let the liquor fool you, cause I'll stick it to you. Something sharp to the heart, or something big to move you. The desert or the shoddy, whatever. You the body that chose to be the dumb nigga at the party. Too much Bacardi started speaking dumb. Then you tried to snuff Joe, must have been Puerto Rican rum. That's the hardcore, to use a sophomore. Takes years to earn a pair of terror squad balls. So get lost to take one, bones I break them, pigs I bacon. So get fried if they come. You see that? I'm like G-Rap, Pac, Master P, all balled up with a twist of Mark Anthony. Recognize me, I'm the one cocking the auto. Tony Sunshine, please, canten el coro.
Yeah. Once again, I'm on. Can I talk my shit again? Can I talk my shit again? Will Maddie TV, everybody can go. New York City. Come on, man. I had to wave my flag on this episode. DX. The Holy Trinity. You already know the Mecca. Yeah. Where the seed was planted. And from there we sprout out into so many different regions and so many different states, but it only could start in one place. New York. Yeah. Please pardon my bias, as I am only a New Yorker to my core. Once again, Will Maddie TV is the name. Everybody Can't Go Podcast, episode 83. You could have been anywhere else on the internet, but somehow you ended up here with me. Appreciate you all for tuning in. Like I said, we will get the show started shortly. Stay tuned and keep it locked. I'll be back in the box in the New York Minute. Number one independent podcast in the world. Yeah. Everybody Can't Go. Will Maddie TV. New York City. Stand the fuck up. And I know what time it is. Yeah. If you got your flag, wave it proud.
Let's do it.
Say it loud. New York.
Catch a fucking bullet, nigga.
I ain't really come here to waste too much time. Please sit back and enjoy the rhyme.
Bread, ribs, $100 bills.
Queens.
Pill on the Cotties and over 4 wheels.
New
Write
York.
a book full of medicine and generate mills. Tour the album, only for more sales. We used to catch those on the block with krills. Now it's paid shows, promoters post up bills. Sign deals only if the math is real. If we can't match numbers, then you can't have the head nigga in charge of shit. Live nigga rhymes artists, pardon. P-Dub shines regardless, remorseless. Haunt niggas like poltergeist. My advice for a get like that is think twice before you move on it. Put jewels on it, who want it? Loose niggas make the news when we start forming. Snatch stripes off a niggas' uniforms often. Doing it bad shit Delph, you way out the jurisdiction. Why niggas bullshit on the grill? I don't fuck around, Dunny. It's most real, I keep it thorough, nigga. Yo, let me back up for him, let me back up, yo. Why niggas bullshit on the grill? I don't fuck around, Dunny, it's most real. I gave birth to your whole style and feel. How do it feel to hold my dick in public? Cock blower, duplicate rap cloner. Let's me and you do it live on stage for Dolo. I smack niggas like you, smash niggas by the tools, grab niggas by the throat, show 'em prove. Rhymes cocky, crazy ill, man rowdy. Did a buck off of my shit and rap to Audi. Temperamental, I snap quick, very touchy. And yo, my attitude is all fucked up and real shitty. I rap like no one out there can fuck with me. You feel different, niggas see me. I throw a TV at you crazy. Bitches say P, you crazy. A pain in the ass now, but fuck you, play me. I'm no shorty, nigga, I stop your glory. I'm a third street nigga for real. You just applaud me, avoid P, man. Take your baby mom's advice. I'm nothing sweet, ill with the guns. You pay the price when you see me in the street, soldier. Salute me, you just a groupie. Oh, you gangster, you shoot me. Who gives a fuck, really? I miss my nigga Twin, kill me. So I could join the rest of my foes up in the heavens. You rap niggas make me laugh, y'all crazy ass. And I don't give a fuck what you sold. That shit is trash, bang this, cause I guarantee that you bought it. Heavy airplay all day with no chorus. I keep it thorough, nigga.
New York City, stand the fuck up. Everybody Can't Go Podcast. Yeah, y'all know what this is. Stay tuned and keep it locked. From the east to the west, but y'all know who do it the best. Will Maddie TV.
You know what it is?
Young Big Mike, J-Rock, K-Dot, what up, fellas? You know what I mean? Fast shout.
I know.
Absol,
Vision me, rockin' from Killer Cali to Italy. It'll be like something you never seen, literally. Soul brother, this rap shit is like a cult, but I don't give a shit. I wear it like a coat, you know. I'm so hip hop, I love it to death. From a DJ scratch to graffiti on your set, B-boys that can spin on their head. You know the best. had the karaoke machine recording cassettes. Fill up my cup like support for breasts as I reflect back when niggas used to flow for respect. But it's all marketing now. If you ain't got a gimmick, no what's his name, or you ain't got an image, you probably won't last a minute. And then you wonder why these old heads wonder what's happening with it. Back in the day, when the album came out, yo, you had to get it. Prior to iTunes, my room full of LPs like a ma and pa shop. All thanks to my ma and pa shop. I've been on it since birth and I'm all in all hot. More cuts than a club sandwich. Here to cause all you industry thugs damage. Live from the 310 and we want more like any miney, serve anybody. Hand me the keys, I'm only trying to unlock my dreams, but
You know my thing.
yeah, so Top Dog, ENT.
Hey yo, Will Maddie TV, episode 83 of the Everybody Can Go podcast. There's something in the air right now. The clip wasn't even empty. Like, understand that playlist could have went on for another 2 hours. That could have been the whole episode, quite frankly. Shouts out to hip hop. Shouts out to the East. Shouts out to the West. Y'all see, I you know, listen. Like I said, out the gate, off top. Yeah. I'm gonna wave my flag this episode. I gotta plant my flag. I gotta represent. I gotta let y'all know where it is and where it's at and where I'm at. I want to be very, very clear out the gate. That Willmatic TV. Yeah, I'm waving my flag for the East Coast, but I am neutral when it's all said and done. And realistically, I feel like I'm jumping way ahead. All right. So listen. All right. Obviously, we have a plethora of things to discuss on this episode. Okay. I don't want to overwhelm myself. Okay. I'm looking at my docket. It's a lot going on right now. It's a lot going on right now in real time as well. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to refresh my timeline a few times during this episode and hit y'all with a couple of listen. We got a lot of new music to discuss. We have a whole East versus West rap war. Quite frankly, no. We not trying to perpetuate that. And realistically, I'm jumping ahead. Come on, man. We coming off of that intro. We're gonna have a lot of conversations about music, obviously, throughout this episode. A lot of new music has been released. Yeah, it's an exciting time, the playoff basketball energy, the atmosphere, you can kind of feel it in the air. I mean, well, that is if you are from one of the current 4 cities that remain in the playoffs right now: Indiana, Oklahoma City, Minnesota, and of course, New York. Yeah, absolutely. Pardon my bias. But I must say, we talking about NBA playoff basketball right now. So what I basically was saying on my last episode is that I never was a New York Knicks fan. I never, I never had a Knicks jersey, which is a fact. That is a fact. I actually need to clear some things up about what I was saying on my last episode in regards to my allegiance to the city. Obviously our team that basically the face of the city at this current time, right? The New York Knicks. Y'all gotta understand, right? When I said that I was never a fan of the Knicks, obviously, who wasn't a fan of the Knicks at some point? At one point in time, I absolutely was a fan of the Knicks. As a matter of fact, and this is true. I mean, all in all honesty, my first favorite player in the league was John Starks. All I'm saying is this. Yes. At one point in time, many moons ago, I was a New York Knicks fan. The New York Knicks, we've had a tumultuous, up and down, rocky relationship over the years. And then it came to a point in time where I had to just let go. And listen, I'm willing to admit, I feel a little left out. I do. I feel like maybe I got off the bandwagon 15 or 20 years too early. Maybe I should have like held it down and been like a true fan. And realistically, if I'm just being honest, I'm not a fan of any of these goddamn sports teams. Realistically, I don't really there's not really a team that I really have. Like, you know, people usually, you know, they ask you basically, well, who's your team? What's your team that you're going for? Like right now at this current time, absolutely just strictly off of bias and just, you know, the fact that I've only lived in New York City my entire life. Yeah, by default, that becomes my team. But all I'm saying is this: I don't really root for teams. I root for greatness. Okay? And sometimes greatness, it may come in the form of a team. It may just be a player, you know. I follow and I study and I admire greatness and great players and individuals who have done great things, you know. So yeah, we could acknowledge the fact that, and realistically, we don't need to do a whole diatribe and a soliloquy about, you know, how I feel about the New York Knicks as a franchise, and basically just all of the ups and downs over the years and all of the mistakes, quite frankly. Right now, the only thing that matters and the only thing that's important is that the New York Knicks, for the first time since 2000, the year 2000, that was when they said the world was going to end the first time. And they had everybody scared, and everybody was running outside and going to the supermarket and clearing off the goddamn shelves. You couldn't even get a can of tuna fish, okay? Because they put out a conspiracy that the year 2000, the world was going to end. The world didn't end. But I could tell you what did. The New York Knicks championship hopes. Because quite frankly, the year 2000 was a very, very tumultuous time for New York Knicks fans. Okay? That was when Rick Brunson was a New York Knick. That's Jalen Brunson's pops. For all of you who don't know, all of you young bucks tuned in to the episode, do your Googles, fam. Before Jalen Brunson, it was Rick Brunson. And that was the year 2000. I say all that to say this. For the first time since then, the New York Knicks have made it to the conference finals. Yeah. I'm not even really sure what I can say as an individual who basically, I turned my back on the franchise, quite frankly. I left y'all for dead. I did. I walked away and I didn't even look back, fam. I couldn't care less about the New York Knicks 2 years ago. Okay? Before Jalen Brunson got there. Because like I said, once again, it doesn't necessarily have to be the team, but obviously I can acknowledge when an individual basically comes in and changes the entire team situation, and clearly that's the case here. I just feel like there's not really much words that I can say outside of the fact that, there's really only one way to really sum up what I'm really thinking right now, and quite frankly, I don't want to do that, because then it's like, all right, so look, pause right here. Mike. You know what? I can admit when I made a mistake. I can. I made a mistake here, man. Maybe I should have rolled it out for 25 years. Maybe I should have been that guy coming to work every day with my orange and blue. I salute all of y'all out there, fam, because I'm not even gonna hold you, fam. Yeah, some of y'all wore the orange and blue. Y'all wore the jerseys even when things was all bad. It wasn't no light at the end of the tunnel. You still wore that orange and blue proud. I couldn't wear it with you. Which is why I have to take this time right now. And on my very, very platform, on the Everybody Can't Go podcast, Willmatic TV, I'm going to take this time right now. I'm not ready to apologize. Not yet. The job is still not finished, quite frankly. Okay?
Kobe!
Yeah. I will apologize. Only and when, if, and possibly the New York Knicks somehow, some way, end up becoming the 2025 NBA champions. If they pull off that feat, only then is when Willmatic TV will come on a microphone and absolutely apologize, to the whole franchise. I mean, Coach Thibodeau, I'll apologize to Coach Thibodeau. I'll get the Jalen Brunson jersey. I'll do the whole thing. I'm not ready to do that yet. 25 years, realistically, since they've made it this far. So obviously, basically what I'm really saying is, that the future is looking bright for New York. And I feel like at this point, regardless if, and I don't want to, basically, diminish the goal or, basically lower the expectations of New York City fans. Obviously, the goal here is to win a championship, right? We want this team to go all the way and get the championship because obviously I don't even have that stat in front of me. What was the last time they won a championship? If 2000 was the last time they got to the conference finals, it might have been 96 or something like that. The last time they got to the finals, whatever the case may be. I'm no NBA historian, but I do know that it's been a long time since the NYC fans, have basically had something to really applaud or cheer for when it comes to championships. We got the Yankees, right? We have teams out here that are other teams that are accomplished, but that's baseball. This is a whole nother ball game. This is not, it's not that. It's not that. This hits a little differently, obviously, if the Knicks win a championship. I feel like I was getting ready to make a point, and I completely lost my train of thought. I feel like I'm harping on this a lot. I am. I do feel like I said, once again, there are still 3 more teams left. Or realistically 2 more teams, because they don't got to worry about one of those teams. Realistically, OKC and Minnesota. Actually, game 1, so May 20th at the time of recording, the Oklahoma City Thunder set to face the Minnesota Timberwolves. Game 1, obviously the Thunder were able to get the job done in Denver. They played game 7. They actually were in OKC for game 7. Whatever the case may be, they were able to eliminate Denver. And realistically, Jokic played his ass off. What an amazing postseason for Nikola Jokic, And I feel like that's what's to be expected at this point from him. I feel like he has, solidified his legacy at this point. So that's another major chess piece off of the board in the Denver Nuggets. Obviously, New York were able to eliminate the Boston Celtics, who are the current NBA champions. And I'm not gonna act like I'm not a little surprised. You know what I'm saying? I am a little surprised by that. Not just the fact that they were able to win, but just the manner in which they basically were able to come out and dominate. I think it's safe to assume that the Boston Celtics and Joe Mazzulla might have hit their ceiling as far as the current roster and the way that they're currently constructed. I'm not sure if the coaching will be, basically the focus as far as what needs to change going into the next season. I'm not sure. Obviously, it's safe to assume that a few players won't be there next season in Celtics jerseys, but I feel like that's the case every season. And, there's already some reports going out in regards to, I might have to be, this shit crazy. Like, I might have to be Woj and Sway on this episode, man. Like, understand that this is really the Woj report I'm giving you right now, man. We got a whole battle rap happening in real time. I'm giving y'all a Woj report. Woj ain't even giving y'all a Woj report no more. So obviously a few reports are, basically circulating. A few rumors are going around. There's definitely a lot of trade rumors, and we were just speaking about the Boston Celtics. So Derek White was the latest rumor that I seen in regards to. So Golden State Warriors, and basically there's gonna be a lot of that, a lot of different trade scenarios going out. Nothing is really finalized until it's final. No pun intended, because we are at the conference finals right now in New York City. Not for nothing, but yeah, we in that bitch. I'm sure that Tyrese Halliburton, don't let him hit in the game winning, fam. That's all I'm saying. Cause I'm almost 1,000%. We might get a recreation of that moment at some point during this series. I'm not wishing that upon the city, okay? Cause I'm definitely not pro. Like, Indiana was never really my team. They never really did it for me. Reggie Miller, obviously, we gotta respect what he was able to do. I feel like, but that was then. This is now. Right now, we got a whole different scenario. We got Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Halliburton. Obviously, it's just so ironic. Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Halliburton, they had them make an appearance on WWE Monday Night Raw. And this might have been a year or so ago, a year or two, or whatever the case may be. But I just feel like it's just so funny, they've been playing those clips back, and to kind of just see them, basically play into the whole rivalry thing. I just feel like the stage is set, the stars have aligned once again. I mean, they did face them last year as well, right? Right. So that was exactly what it was for. They did the promo for the last face, the last matchup. But we got a whole different scenario now. We ain't have Karl Anthony Towns. You know what I'm saying? The Knicks didn't have Karl Anthony Towns last year, and I feel like all of the players are healthy this year as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Game 1, New York City versus Indiana. Let me say the actual, hold on. So the stage is set. Game 1, the New York City Knicks versus the Indiana Pacers. Game 1, Wednesday. So that'll be May the 21st. And I do feel like this episode would, and should be out. This episode will be out before that game drops. We'll have to spin the block with the results of Game 1. And like I said, I'm not counting the Pacers out. Obviously, listen, with everything being said about the New York Knicks and their grind and, their grit and determination and, how they fought to get to this point, you could say some of those same things about the Indiana Pacers, okay? And obviously, this is a team that they've already, matched up against and, they were unsuccessful. So we're not going to look at we're not going to count the Pacers out. We're not going to, basically overlook the opponent because realistically, like I said in the beginning, the job is still not finished. I feel like with that, Minnesota, so obviously Minnesota versus OKC, I don't really know how that's going to play out. I don't. This is going to be interesting to say the least. You got Anthony Edwards, Shai Gilgeous Alexander. I mean, quite possibly these are the two premier, up and coming faces of the NBA, going forward. I mean, these are the two, quite frankly, There may be a few other guys, but obviously right now, they're at this point, so obviously all of the eyes are on them. I just don't really feel like I have a prediction for this particular series. I don't have a prediction for any of the rest of these. I don't know who's going to win the championship. Like I said, out the gate, the championship is up for grabs. I did feel like this was going to be a year where we basically were going to see a new team basically reach this plateau, and that's basically what we have here, and that's exciting. That's exciting. It's always exciting to see, basically a new champion. A new king, or not king, because these are obviously teams, right? It's not like boxing and shit. Yeah, I just feel like that's exciting, because obviously, it helps so much, or not even that it helps so much. Why is it so exciting, realistically? Like, realistically, sometimes I need to ask myself questions to really actually come to a full understanding. Why is that exciting to me? We're going to get a new champion. I don't know. I just feel like it's always good out with the old and with the new. I just feel like it's boring when the same team wins back to back. Like when the Golden State Warriors had they run, low key, I mean, granted those games were actually exciting because of the matchups, and you had Cleveland and Braun, and there were storylines, right? I just feel like in this particular instance, we have storylines, right? Then you have future, up and coming talent who basically never really had their shot. We're gonna have a champion for the first time. It's so funny. I had written down on my docket, was winning Game 5, or was allowing the Celtics to win Game 5, because obviously the Celtics came out in Game 5 and did what they had to do. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh man, this doesn't look. You let them get a win, they could probably potentially get some momentum off of that. And if, Joe Mazzulla is as good of a coach as I've been hearing that he is, right, or that they're saying that he is, then you potentially may have shown them a blueprint on how to continue a winning formula, right? And the Celtics obviously are a team that, once they kind of get it together and they're kind of moving as a unit, it's kind of hard to get them stopped. I say all that to say this. It wasn't a mistake. It wasn't a mistake at all. They came back to the Garden and they absolutely, they violated the Celtics, fam.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Understand that they absolutely decimated. I mean, they destroyed them. And granted, I know, they didn't have their major player, right? Their star player wasn't, obviously Jason Tatum wasn't playing. So that made for, obviously, that was a different game or whatever the case may be. But listen, man. Players is getting hurt every day, B. It's the playoffs, fam. It's the NBA Eastern Conference Finals now. I mean, this is going to be interesting, man. This is going to be very, very interesting. Either way it goes is basically what I was really trying to say. And why I felt like this was so exciting is because either way the championship goes, I just feel like it's well deserved, quite frankly, right? Because if the Knicks win, obviously there's a storyline there. If the Oklahoma City win with that young team and basically Shai Gilgeous Alexander as the MVP, which I do feel like they actually did. They did crown him. So Shai Gilgeous Alexander is the 2025 most valuable player. Absolutely, round of applause for an amazing season that quite frankly isn't over, because they still have 2 more teams to see before they get that championship. But like I was saying, as far as the storyline, either way the championship goes, if Anthony Edwards wins a championship and the way his trajectory has been going, that's only going to just continue to boost that. That's going to take it to a whole nother level, right? And then you have Indiana. And obviously, the Indiana Pacers, led by Tyrese Halliburton, who was voted by the players, his peers, as the most overrated player in the league, right? So needless to say, if he gets the championship, so this is basically what I'm saying. There's a storyline for any way it goes, and I do feel like all teams who are currently remaining, they fought really, really hard, and it would be well deserved any way it goes. I'm riding out with New York though, fam, and that's just what it is, and that's just what it's gonna be. Now that might not necessarily be. I don't want to do that. I want to move on at this point. I want to stay positive. I want to stay optimistic. I want to just highlight and salute Carmelo Anthony for that NBA Hall of Fame induction, man. One more time, Obviously, absolutely. New York Knicks, New York City legend, NBA legend, and now NBA Hall of Famer. Salute to Melo, man. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely one of the players who, he had the city on fire, man, when he was over there. I feel like Jeremy Lin, yeah, man, it was a few, unsung heroes that came through the city, you know what I'm saying? And basically, kind of made their mark and, cemented their legacy. And Melo, obviously, he'll be in the Hall of Fame. Jeremy Lin, is Jeremy Lin even still hooping at this point? He might be overseas playing basketball right now. Jeremy Lin might have just dropped 83 points today. You know what I'm saying? Or something crazy. I'm pretty sure he's still hooping overseas. Whatever the case may be. I feel like, am I off the playoffs at this point? Do we need to just move on? Because, quite frankly, like I said, the docket is loaded. So obviously, going back to the conversations about, all of the trade possibilities and, all of the different rumors that I've been seeing. So the Dallas Mavericks ended up securing the number 1 draft pick. There's a possibility that the Dallas Mavericks may end up trading their number 1 pick, who would be Cooper Flag, to the Milwaukee Bucks for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Let me just spit it out at this point. Okay? That's what the trade rumor is. They're saying that there's a possibility that Giannis, the Greek Freak, Antetokounmpo, at this point, there's not really a may. He definitely wants out of Milwaukee. I don't know if he's actually come out and said that, verbatim. I feel like he's making it a point to kind of feed in to some of the trade rumors, and he's fueling a lot of the speculation that's currently taking place surrounding the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo, potentially parting ways. The scenario with the Mavericks is obviously a very, very interesting situation, to say the least. I do feel like, needless to say, if you can get Giannis Antetokounmpo on the Mavericks with Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis, on paper, I feel like it's safe to say that is a certified, bona fide championship squad. It doesn't even really matter who you put around those guys, realistically. It really doesn't. We talking about, that's 200 points between them, right? Between those three, 150 points potentially could go up, fam. Between those three players alone, right? So what I'm saying is, you got Clay over there still. Clay is going to have a field day. Listen. These are all just rumors. This is all just speculation. But I did see this, and I did feel like, I definitely feel like I want to make this trade happen in 2K right away. And I want to see this happen I need to test this out, fam. What does this look like? Giannis Antetokounmpo, Anthony Davis who's a whole stretch 5, okay, and can shoot the 3 ball. Kyrie Irving, Uncle Drew, coming off of an ACL injury, and obviously that's the only, kind of question mark in that scenario. Obviously we still waiting for Kyrie to get back. It's been reported that he's expected to return just before or just after the All-Star break, which it sucks. It sucks, That's a lot of time away, and obviously, needless to say that you don't just come back to the NBA. Realistically, Kyrie Irving is a different breed, and I might have Kyrie fucked up. He might need 2 games to get back in NBA shape, realistically, right? But what I'm saying is, in most cases and in most instances, coming off of an injury that severe, the expectation is that you're not gonna just come back playing at your top level, or where you were, before you left, right? He might come back better. We don't know. He might come back in his first play. He might dunk on somebody. It's Kyrie Irving, right? It's basketball. You can't really count him out when it comes to any basketball scenario, realistically, right? We've never really seen him with an ACL injury either, though, which is why it's a question mark. So that's one of the main. There's a lot of rumors out there. You got scenarios. Kevin Durant. I feel like this kind of went out early, like before the All-Star game. They was already kind of like, yeah, KD he's not staying in Phoenix, man. He wants to go to Houston. Like, this report came out like a year ago and shit, right? Where it's just kind of like, and I don't know how I feel about just this. I don't know, man. Kevin Durant. It's hard to not kind of cringe a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like, as talented as KD is, because he's still playing the game, and it's not like he's not still talented. He may be a step or 2 slower, right? He could still pull up and jump. He could still shoot it over everybody. He's still the shot is the last thing to go. My point is this. KD is still KD. Okay? He can still put up, significant points. He can still play the game at a high level. At the same time, though, it's hard to not cringe thinking about just the amount of teams at this point that KD has played for, that it just seems like it basically just kind of went to waste. You know what I'm saying? For lack of a better word to say. The Nets is primarily what comes to mind, right? I just feel like, man, at this point, we talking about they would have been 2 or 3 championships in, fam. They would have been in the Eastern Conference Finals right now. It would have been the Nets and the Indiana Pacers, fam. I don't think the Knicks would have been there. I'm just saying, fam, respectfully, okay? If you would have kept Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Kevin Durant on the same roster, listen, man. So that kind of sucks. Like, when I just think about, damn, man, there was so many situations where I just feel like he didn't really get. Things could have went a different way. You know what I'm saying, to say the least. But obviously Phoenix. We add that to that list now, right? Where it's just kind of like he was over there, but like it's kind of just like, why? You know what I mean? Why? Because they had Devin Booker. Then they brought Bradley Beal. It seemed like on paper that this was going to be, it made sense at the time on paper and shit. I'm not sure what happened. I don't know if Devin Booker if it was just like, I don't know. Maybe they didn't really match as far as chemistry. And really what it goes to show is that there's just so much more that goes into winning the NBA championship than basically being a talented player, for real, right? You can be the most talented player in the world. If you don't have a formula, if you don't have a coach, if you don't have a system, that you have to have a championship system. So is it going to be Houston, or is it going to be San Antonio or Dallas at this point, right? That's pretty much just what we're waiting to see, because obviously he made it clear that he wants to, I guess, return home, which obviously Texas, is his hometown. And like I said, even that to me is just kind of like, damn, dog. You not even you want to go play, like you putting it out there to the press and shit. We know what team you want to go play for. You still played for you was on a team, and there was reports going out that you wanted to be on another team. That's kind of crazy to me. Okay, we've never seen that report go out about Kobe. Kobe's name was never on that tabloid. As much dirt and tabloids as they had out there, fam, you never would have seen another team, fam. You not on that team right now, though. We should never hear these reports, is basically what I'm saying. It takes away from the integrity, okay? And basically just like, I don't know, man. How do you get up and get excited and cheer for this? You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is exactly why, this might be the reason why I lost, like, why I don't cheer for teams. This is it right here, fam. We might have just figured it out in real time. The way that they basically move these players around like it's a goddamn, like it's 2K, like the cap. Like they take off the cap rules. You know, you could take the rules off and shit. I do that all the time, by the way. It just makes it much stress-free. I just want to play the game, fam. I'm not about to sit here and try to match up contracts. We not doing that, fam. I paid $150 for this goddamn game. I'm not doing math. So yeah, I'm taking the rules off, fam. If I want KD and Michael Jordan and Allen Iverson on the same team, so be it, fam. It's a video game. My point is this: they got the real life NBA. It's looking real 2K-ish right now because you got players. They basically announcing where they want to go and shit. He put the announcement out like an album was about to drop. I don't know. It's kind of wild right now. It's the wild, wild west, man. And is he gonna be in the West? Dallas, San Antonio? Yeah. He's in the West right now, though. That nigga stay in the West. Well, now Brooklyn, he been on both coasts and shit. He's been everywhere. This is what I'm saying. This nigga played the East, West, North, South. God damn, KD. What does this mean? What does this say about his legacy? That's all I was really trying to get to. You know they going. I don't know, man. When we look back, it's just gonna be like, damn. Clearly, you were great on one team. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, quite frankly, that team is no longer in the postseason. He's not in the postseason. I'm just saying, man, maybe you should have stayed on that team. That's just my opinion, though. I wouldn't have been mad if he just stayed over there, low key. You know what I mean? As it turned out. When the Nets shit went out, though, originally it seemed like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it felt like, okay, maybe we on to something here. But then we seen how that played out. At this point, I'm done. I've lost my appetite for basketball. I did. You start thinking about all of the politics, and I'm off it at this point. We're going to move on to some serious news. Yeah. They put me in that predicament this week. I couldn't just come on here and we couldn't just do a whole... I mean, I thought about it. I did. Like, damn, I could just do a whole 3-hour episode around some hip-hop shit this week, fam. Realistically, yeah, I know a lot of this shit is coming in real time still. So what I'm basically saying is stay tuned and keep it locked for that. Okay, so Rodney Hinton Jr. is the father of a man who was unfortunately killed by Ohio deputies. I don't have the story or the full story on that incident. I wasn't even aware of that incident. Obviously, it's an unfortunate incident, but ultimately what happened was Rodney Hinton Jr., he wasn't going, and you know, so he's been accused of striking a deputy with his car as a retaliation for his son being killed by another deputy. So he didn't actually kill or, you know, go after the deputy who actually committed this act on his son, which I feel like, not for nothing, you know what I'm saying? We don't condone any violence on the Everybody Can't Go podcast. But realistically, that would have kind of been more of, I feel like we would have understood that more. Like, if you go after the actual guy who did it, he went and killed some random cop that was just on the side of the highway somewhere, right? So, I mean, needless to say, you know, he chose to go about things, you know, the way that he chose to go about them. And right now, unfortunately, his decisions have, landed him. So he's facing the death penalty, is what's being reported, And I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of activists and a lot of people protesting all of these different things surrounding this. People are gonna basically, you're gonna have people on both sides here. Is basically what's getting ready to happen. I don't really feel like, this is a tough one because, like I said once again, you kind of want to empathize to a certain degree with obviously this man lost his son, so yeah, needless to say that I'm sure that led to, he's dealing with trauma at this point. It might be some mental illness, in there somewhere. I don't know who this man is. But based off of the way that he walked into that courtroom, and he basically made it a point to stare each and every single deputy down. I mean, I'm pretty sure that didn't help his case, and I'm not really sure if he's looking or seeking help at this point. So that's currently, basically the aftermath of that situation. Rodney Hinton Jr. facing death after allegedly running over an officer the day after. I didn't even realize it was the day after. So he acted pretty quickly. He didn't wait till... Yeah, he was... Needless to say that this was an act of rage. If it was the day after. See, I didn't realize the timeline was that... I don't know, man. Does this end up getting, I don't know. Do they take this to the Supreme Court? Do they do a re-sentencing? I don't know. I don't know how this plays out. But based on the way I've seen these situations play out in the past, and I feel like just recently we've seen a situation where there's a lot of instances where, you have people basically saying that the death penalty isn't warranted, even when there's evidence to, basically support those claims. You still see individuals end up getting the death penalty anyway, right? So based on just how I seen this situation played out, I just don't see how, once again, I'm not even really sure if that's even what is being sought at this point. I don't think that Rodney Hinton Jr., he might not be opposed to the death penalty at this point, is basically what I'm saying, based upon what I've seen and what I've heard, right? And realistically, I'm not even sure why did I throw that on the docket. I just seen it. I screenshotted it because I seen the video of him walking in the courtroom a couple of weeks ago. So I remembered the case or whatever the case may be. I just didn't know that they were going to actually, I thought they was going to give him like 1,000 years. I didn't think they were going to basically, yeah, they want revenge. Needless to say that they're seeking revenge for the fallen deputy. And I mean, what I would actually insert there though, in all seriousness, because I don't really have much to say about it outside of the fact that obviously it's unfortunate all around, but I do feel like we just got to keep the same energy. That's all, and that might be the only thing I have on that realistically, right? We just got to keep the same energy, fam, right? And when it's the other way around, and when the shoe's on the other foot. I just feel like, what I'm saying, we have to, keep the same energy. And I don't want to turn this into a political episode because like I said, it's a whole lot of hip hop shit going on right now. I don't want to political us out on this episode. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I feel like realistically I could probably come on here and do one of those episodes every week at this point, right? It's enough of that going on, and realistically, fam, if you want the news report, fam, tune in to Fox 5, fam. It's a whole lot of hip hop shit going on right now that, quite frankly, Willmatic TV. Yeah, I had to absolutely chime in on the conversation. Before we get to the music, though, once again, I feel like, yeah, we kind of somber right now. I feel like at this point we might as well go ahead and just get this out of the way, and not to say it like that, because it's not like get this out of the way almost sounds dismissive, right? And that's not that's the last thing I'm trying to do when it comes to, situations like this. I hate to get somber. I do. I hate to come on here and, basically drop the vibrations down, because realistically that's all these situations do. LGP QUA, rest in power, rest in peace to this young brother, man, out of Philadelphia. This young brother unfortunately was shot and killed on Mother's Day. This individual who basically was a beacon of basically just hope and light for all of the young people in his community. I didn't really know him that well prior to this, unfortunate event, which also doesn't sit well with me. That, I discovered this individual through this tragedy. You know what I'm saying? As much as I stand on my, listen, man, I respect what he was doing. To say the least. I do feel like, the messages in music are super, super detrimental. I do feel like, balance is key. And I just feel like obviously he was providing that balance, and, he was on some positive shit. And it just really, really is unfortunate that even when you kind of come out and make it clear that, and granted, he wasn't, obviously, none of us are, we all have our flaws, when it's all said and done, right? So I'm not saying that he wasn't, he had issues in the past, he was incarcerated, I'm sure that he did dibble and dabble in the street life at a certain point, as we all have, basically coming through different environments, different communities, right? We've all had our personal experiences. Fortunately, he was able to, kind of navigate through that and kind of find his voice. And he kind of used his voice to share positivity and not negativity. So that's what makes this just that much more unfortunate. And then obviously, for it to happen on Mother's Day adds another element, as far as his family and his loved ones are concerned. So we just wanted to just take a moment to say rest in power, rest in peace to LGP QUA. And we're going to absolutely take a moment to applaud this young brother. Absolutely. It's super unfortunate, and it's kind of, like I said, once again, I hate the fact that I wasn't aware of who this was, basically, and this is what basically got me this is what shined the light. Something so dark, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like, I don't know, it's just not sitting well with me that this is how I found out who this was. And I feel like that's a common thing now, right? That's more common than not, where it's kind of like, you might not even know, you're hearing so much about rest in peace to LGP QUA. We can't get into the new music just yet. I know that's what y'all here for. I know this. Even though I already told y'all what Joey Bada was going through. I told y'all January the 17th. The snippet is up on my page. It's on every platform. Okay? I told y'all what was getting ready to happen, but we gonna get to that shortly. I'm jumping ahead. Unfortunately, before we get to that, that's the light at the end of the tunnel. We still have to travel through this tunnel to get to that. And right now, we make a stop at Torey Lanez, who, unfortunately, one report said that he got stabbed, and it wasn't, basically serious. It was non-life threatening, and you kind of seen that. It didn't necessarily feel like you still wished him well, but obviously non-life threatening sounds like it wasn't serious, right? Like, oh, he probably got cut or something like that, which, would have still been unfortunate, but obviously, fast forward, we got a whole nother report that came out in regards to the situation. And basically what was reported, it was that Torey Lanez was not stabbed on the yard. They tried to kill that man. Okay? He was stabbed 14 times. That's 14. I mean, yeah. Understand that if you get body slammed 14 times, you might die. If you get punched in your face 14 times, 14 of anything is crazy, okay? To be stabbed 14 times, needless to say, it's truly a miracle that, and fortunately, in all seriousness, he was able to survive this attack on the yard, man. Now, everything else that comes after that, I check out. I don't really know. I don't have an opinion on anything else. I don't, because like I said, we trying to keep the vibrations high. I don't want to come on here, okay, with the conspiracy theories about Rock Nation, and I'm just at a point personally, myself, me, Willmatic TV, I'm at a point right now where I'm just like, yo, son, I ain't even gonna hold you. Joey Bada is on his 3rd or 4th diss record right now, fam. You understand what I'm saying? I don't really want to be gloomy and down, and I don't really want to get into that bag. Sometimes you gotta put, you know what I'm saying, the bag to the side. I could get into that bag another time, is basically what I'm saying. On this episode right here, I can't really get into that bag with y'all. But I do want to acknowledge the fact that, yeah, we see all of these, these headlines, and I don't really know how to feel about it outside of the fact that, I mean, first off, praise up for Torey, right? Regardless of how you feel about the situation, I just feel like, listen, man, like I said, 14 of anything is crazy. If you take 14 shots of gin, of a Henny, any name your drink of preference, man, 14 is kind of crazy. If you smoke 14 blunts, that's kind of crazy, fam. You can't, 14 of anything is crazy, okay? You got stabbed 14 times? I mean, listen. So I mean, I feel like we do need to get into, all right, because there is a lot around this, and it's kind of like, I'm just trying to figure out the best way to, like I don't really want to, I have no horse in the race here, right? Understand that I'm not on anybody's side. This is not about that. It's not about that. What I can say is that we're dealing with a justice system, a criminal justice system that is very, very, unfavorable to men of color, historically. I feel like we kind of all know with that, I don't need to come on here and do that history lesson. I don't. We all know what time it is, man, with this criminal justice system as it pertains to, men of color, and just basically how lopsided, these laws and these penalties can be, when it comes to black men, There's no need to sugarcoat it. It's not, because like I said, historically we have all of the facts to back up everything that we're speaking on. So from that perspective and from that standpoint alone, I'm not on any side here. However, what I will say is the new evidence that came out in regards to, the whole case with Meg and Torey, obviously there's some new evidence, and what they're basically saying is that they have even more evidence that's getting ready to get revealed. And I'm just not really sure if I understand why we had to get to this point. That's kind of where I'm at with it, I guess, right? In other words, then if you have this evidence now, shouldn't you have had this evidence the whole entire time? Is this a situation where they just got some new shit? Or to me, it sounds like I don't know, man. I don't know. Niggas was playing a game with this criminal justice system where they thought shit was probably a little sweeter than it was, right? It's starting to all come to light now, is what I'm saying, right? Maybe I don't understand the perspective though of basically like, all right, so Torey Lanez is basically saying that, well, he's not saying, but the lawyers are saying that the evidence is suggesting that maybe Kelsey shot Meg. You know what I'm saying? After all, right? Maybe this was a lover's quarrel. Whatever you call that shit, lover's quarrel. Love triangle gone wrong, quite frankly. That basically resulted in, some jealousy, some resentment, whatever the case may be. However the gun went off, okay? Meg is claiming that she got shot in her foot. But then, hold on. In that same breath, and this is why I don't want to talk about this. Because for every point that I can make, I can counter that. I feel like I'm in court right now, fam. Every point that you can make about this can be countered with something else that has been put out there to basically debunk. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of fucking shit out there, man, that I don't know what, like, I don't know. I don't even know how we got to this point, basically. Right? Because if they're saying that Megan, she didn't even initially, they basically were saying initially that she said herself that she stepped on glass and she was never even shot. Then you have to go look at, x-rays and all of these different things, medical reports that would support a gunshot wound that apparently is nowhere to be found, right? Now we have to look at evidence tampering. Now we have to look at excessive, harsh, time basically being given to an individual who basically didn't even do anything. But I don't really know what to think anymore. I thought that DDG and Halle were the most normal couple in Hollywood at one point in time. I did. Yeah. They got me. The Little Mermaid and the streamer, it seemed like they was match made in fucking Hollywood heaven, man. It looked good. It looked great. I mean, they looked great together. They had a child together, and I feel like I'm jumping ahead at this point. I am. Are we all for the Torey and Meg at this point? I feel like, honestly, man, the 14 times, if I could just be all the way 1,000, like on some real nigga shit though, like not even trying to be funny, like fuck the podcast, fuck all this shit, man. I turned this microphone off right now, and this is my perspective on the situation. Just me being an individual who, I've been in sticky situations, it ain't never get this sticky. You know what I'm saying? Pause. Like, I ain't end up in the yard with the fucking the essays and shit trying to kill me. But I'm just saying, like, I know how it feels to basically be in unfamiliar territory and just feeling like fuck that shit. Like, I just don't feel like I'm in the wrong, or I feel like I'm standing on what's right. So I'm gonna move accordingly. But at the same time, my nigga, like, I just don't feel like you can't really play with prison. Not to say that that's what Torey Lanez is doing. But what I will also say in that same breath is that they're I'm sure that he'll come out, inshallah at this point, right? Because obviously it's not a guarantee that you make it out, right? And Pac spoke on this while he was inside, Pac got that, infamous prison interview where he's sitting there, he grew his hair in and shit. Nigga Pac got the dog Caesar sitting in prison and shit. But he basically was saying in that interview that, he doesn't take this shit lightly, basically. Like, him being inside, basically. He couldn't even write because his motivation, it killed his motivation, basically being caged up every day. And, he was basically just explaining how that can take a toll on you mentally. But then also in that, what he also was explaining in that interview, and what he made very clear in that interview, was that you could die in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You can die here. You can die here. You come in here and play around if you want. It's dudes in here, you know, doing life sentences. There is no light at the end of the tunnel. For a lot of those dudes inside, obviously, needless to say, they don't really have anything to look forward to. They don't have anything to look forward to. They doing life. You know what I'm saying? This is all they gonna know for the rest of their life. So yeah. They gonna treat it accordingly. So you coming in there as Torey Lanez, you know what I'm saying? You a big time celebrity. You taking care of all of these different inmates, which I feel like is great. That he went in there and, you know, basically allowed himself to be a resource to other inmates who probably didn't have certain things. I do feel like that was, you know, pretty strategic and smart, quite frankly. You know, that's probably the route that he should have went. And obviously he went that route, but I also feel like he did other things that potentially, you know, if it wasn't this situation, it probably could have, you know, it'd have probably been something else, basically, right? So for example, let me just be specific, right? I feel like I'm beating around the bush. The album that he put out while he was inside, let's start there. You put out a whole album while you were inside prison. He's on that album. I mean, he's on there talking that talk, to say the least, fam. You go play 3 tracks on that album, and it ain't gonna take you that long to basically see that, you know, yeah, he was kind of inside, and he was, I mean, he even alluded to this stuff on the album, you know. I feel like he said this shit was gonna happen on the album at a certain point. Like, he spoke about all of these different things, and I don't know. So from that perspective, I'm not on the inside. I'm on the outside. So I have an outside perspective. Obviously, you know, it's a whole nother ball game when you're behind them walls, though. Prayers and, you know, prayers up for Torey Lanez, not condolences, because, you know, fortunately, you know, I believe that he is recovering. I'm not really sure what the status is on his health, quite frankly, because like I said, 14 times. I mean, we're talking about torso. You know, I believe he got stabbed in his head as well. You know, all over his torso and his head. So we'll have to just, you know, hope for, you know, basically, I guess a speedy recovery. You know, I guess he need to get the fuck out of there for real at this point, no? And then we need to hurry up with this evidence, man, because we trying to figure out what evidence can they possibly have. I feel like we've heard all of the theories already. In regards to, you know, new evidence, I've heard all of these things already. I've seen all of these things on the internet 1,000 times, I feel like. So that's the part to me that's kind of just like got me scratching my head. Like, I mean, I'm not sure I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. We'll have to just see how this plays out, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, it's not looking good for Torey Lanez right now, though, to say the least. You know, that man is serving a 10-year bid. He just got stabbed 14 times, fam. Okay? They didn't even, like, I'm just saying, yeah, that's, I don't know. And like I said, I do feel like we will have more conversations about this, unfortunately, in the future, because this is still a developing situation. Both lungs collapsed. Yeah, that doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound good. I don't think we'll be hearing any Torey Lanez album anytime soon, because he was promoting that as well. I feel like he had just posted maybe like a week prior to that he had a new album on the way, which I found hard to believe, because I was just like, damn, nigga, you put out another? You recorded 2 albums in prison? It's kind of crazy. But then, like, the same, when did the last one drop? Was that this year? I believe that was this year. Yeah, that was like 2 months ago, man. He had a whole nother one ready to go. So is he gonna drop that? Is that done? Are we gonna get that at some point? We don't know. We have a lot more questions than answers when it comes to Torey Lanez and that whole debacle. I don't want to go any further because I almost went somewhere. I did. I caught myself though. We're not gonna go any further. We gonna play it cool. And we gonna keep it PG on episode 83. Like I said, we will spin the block. Okay, when we get some more confirmation and some more information, quite frankly, on that situation, because right now. It's just a lot going on, man. It's too much to keep up with. Like I said, 15 goddamn battle records came out today. Okay? We on our 17th or 19th this record for this week and shit. So I'm just saying, needless to say, I'm juggling. I'm juggling a lot right now. It's a lot. So they did actually release the name of... Which, I don't... Who gives a fuck, man? Who cares about Santino Castillo? Huh? Who is this? A fucking former Mexican mafia? He might have been. And realistically, I probably shouldn't be playing with his name like that. Let me slow down. They got podcasts inside. They got access to the podcast in prison and shit, man. The EBCG podcast. I might really be number one behind the wall, is what I'm saying. I don't know. So this individual ended up being somebody who... Like Pac was explaining, you know what I'm saying, in that interview, he was doing life, this individual, or he is doing life, right? Which means he had nothing to lose. And then there was also another report that basically went out saying something like there was some type of altercation or incident involving Torey Lanez and this individual's wife in the visiting room. That could be, that may or may not be true. I'm not there. I don't fucking know, okay? He stabbed him 14 times though. And I just feel like, Torey, you gotta be a lot, like you gotta move. I'm just trying to figure out 14 times. I'm just trying to picture like, and don't get it fucked up, my nigga. Like we could all get got. I done got. I could have got stabbed 14 times that night they ran down on me in Yonkers that night. I told that story. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely everybody can't go archive material. You know what I'm saying? Like if y'all want that story, y'all might have to go get that behind the paywall or something. I might put that on Patreon if y'all want that story. You know what I'm saying? On how I had to navigate through some shit. Nah, but in all seriousness though, like, you could get got. And I've been got. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is this. But obviously in the prison yard, right? It's a whole nother ball game. So I'm like, damn. For a nigga to get up on you like that, I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck... Like, what was this nigga doing on the yard, basically? What was you fucking writing a rhyme, my nigga? He might have been rapping or something. With his back turned, he might have been looking at the sky, trying to get motivation or something for a verse. It had to have been something where you were, like, very, very focused and concentrating on something to where you made somebody get up on you like that. Or maybe homie was just on him like that. He might have been smooth. He might have came... over a fence. We don't know what the scenario was, fam. He might have jumped over some shit and got to him real quick. We don't know. Or he might have even played it cool with him. That's the thing. I'm thinking that might have been it. Like he had to have came up on some like some sucker shit basically. Like he probably dapped him and then called him like that. After you get hit one time, you probably going down. So then I'm also like, damn, didn't he like take care of everybody in there? So like, wasn't there anybody to help? Like 14 times, nigga, he got his shit off, my boy. Nobody was there to... This could have been a hit. I don't know. It doesn't sound good. Torey Lanez, my brother, hopefully this evidence is solid. And this video of whatever's about to be shown, it better be clear and in HD, fam. Because whatever this shit is, man, I don't know. He's gonna need everything that he, can get to basically work in his favor here. All right. I struggled through that, man. I did. Because like I said, I feel like there's so much more left there. And it's not really all the way, We basically have a lot more to see play out when it comes to that situation. We're going to move on, though. We're going to move on to another situation that I feel like, I can honestly say I didn't see this coming. Honestly, DDG and Halle and this whole, I don't know, what do you call this? I guess it's just more of the same, not lovers quarrel, but just basically two young adults in the industry trying to figure, out who they are, and basically in an industry that, is just basically so fucking twisted and evil, man, quite frankly, right? So all I'm saying is this. In this particular situation, so, all right, because this is kind of loaded here. DDG and Halle. So Halle Bailey, okay, aka the Little Mermaid. This is a whole Disney character. She's borderline Marvel universe. Like, she's in that realm, okay? So we got to be really, really careful when we even speak on this individual. Like I said so many times in the past, I'm an independent podcast. You know what I'm saying? If Beyonce press a button, the EBCG podcast, this thing is out of here, okay? And I don't want to get on that radar, and I don't want to end up in a predicament like Torey Lanez, quite frankly, okay? Because we already know that Beyonce is connected to Jay-Z. Jay-Z is connected to Rock Nation, and Rock Nation, like I said, that's a later episode for a later time when we get into that discussion, right? But we've been hearing things. I don't want to believe them. But we have been hearing things. And we're not going to act like... All I'm saying is this. I don't want to ruffle any feathers. So, Halle Bailey, obviously, she's in a whole nother stratosphere, okay? Nowhere near where the EBCG podcast is. And realistically, I don't even really come on here. Halle Bailey has never even been a topic on this podcast, man. There's nothing to talk about. Obviously, she's a very talented, amazing artist. I mean, I will say that. She's talented, man. She is talented. I feel like both of those sisters are very talented. I feel like I've spoken on that, and I just feel like, so let's get to the nitty gritty here, right? With that being said, that's a hell of an opening, right? Way to keep it PG. You can't really keep it PG though, because realistically, fam, they not keeping it PG. Halle Bailey has filed charges claiming physical abuse. DDG, the popular streamer on YouTube, and now, he's on Twitch as well. Obviously DDG is known for being a YouTuber and a streamer. And obviously Halle Bailey, they've had a pretty public relationship. I feel like that's been going on for about 2 years now or so. Who's counting? That's not what's important at this point at all. What's important at this point is the fact that these two individuals have a child together, and I don't know, man. That should really just be the focus. At the end of the day, whatever disputes or whatever feelings may be there or may not be there anymore. If you might have fell in love then fell out of love. You know what I'm saying? It might have been some infidelity or whatever the fuck it was, bro. None of that shit really should matter right now. Y'all have a kid on the internet. Like, your kid is going to be a known public figure without any say-so, because his parents are both extremely famous and popular individuals, right? Y'all put your kid on the internet, and all I'm saying is this. You don't want to do too much, and then basically a lot of this stuff could basically obviously affect other people. In particular, Halo, who's, basically he's become popular now because, obviously, when you have two parents who, and DDG obviously being a streamer, he's not shy about, basically showing Halo to the world, right? That's kind of been his thing. And I'm not gonna lie, man, like I said, I didn't see this coming, and I did feel like at a certain point that they basically were on to something. Like, I felt like DDG and Halle potentially could have become the Jay-Z and Beyonce of the industry. At a certain point, like, it did look like, man, this is kind of a power couple in the next 2 years here. If DDG could get a hit, like a legitimate rap song where he actually rapping with some bars and shit, and if Halle, this is the thought that I really had, and this is where I go with it. You see, because I know a lot of, there's going to be a lot of conversations around this. And obviously, it's one of the top headlines, of the top stories of the week. Anytime, basically shit gets messy. You know what I'm saying? You could basically rely on pretty much all of the outlets to come on and, basically sift through the mess. I feel like the Everybody Can't Go podcast, where I come into play, is with my perspective and basically just my train of thought. I don't really think like the rest of y'all. You know what I'm saying? And all I'm saying is this. What really should be the focus, right, is the fact that DDG and Halle completely dropped the ball when it comes to, we're talking about, this could have been the modern day Ja Rule and Ashanti of the goddamn game, fam. Just think about it. Halle Bailey is an R&B artist. DDG claims to be, and apparently wants to be, a rapper. He is a rapper. Let me not do that. He's a rapper, right? Because I just feel like he's more popular as a YouTuber. So it's kind of like, you kind of call him a YouTuber, no? We can't call you a YouTuber rapper, fam. It's one or the other, fam. Clearly the streams is where it's at, my boy. You a whole streamer trying to be a rapper. And I just feel like what was actually missing the whole time was Halle. You didn't have that R&B, you know what I'm saying, that hook on your fucking records, bro. They missed the opportunity. They could have came with the whole Ja Rule and Ashanti formula, DDG rapping over the Ashanti, or Halle rather, on the hook. Come on, fam. We could have got a whole summer anthem from these two. But y'all rather be in the courtroom fighting over Halo. It's just not a good look. It's not a good look, man. It's really not. It's not something I've seen coming. I'm not sure if DDG's seen this coming, quite frankly. He done cut the dreads off. And I feel like I see now why. Yeah, he's trying to move. He wants to remove, I guess, anything that... He wants to move forward. He wants to get out of that situation. And Halle wants... she wants to move this thing to the courtroom, quite frankly, because... And they're already there. They there right now, probably. As I'm recording this, they might be in court. I don't know what's going on. Halle Bailey, she definitely filed some charges. And I guess we got to get serious now, because obviously domestic abuse, domestic violence is not something that we condone. It's just not. We don't condone that. We don't condone that in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I don't know what happened with DDG and Halle. I know that she put out, there's a restraining order, or not a restraining order, but it might be a restraining order. It's a lot. Do I need to go and look this shit up now in real time? I don't want to do that, though. I don't. The latest report I did see, though, was something like DDG will no longer be able to carry or own a firearm because of this restraining order, or because of these claims from Halle. In other words, now he doesn't have the legal right to bear arms. And obviously, like I said, when we spoke about that Torey Lanez situation, obviously we already know what time it is for us. You know what I'm saying? When we walk inside of that courtroom, you know what I'm saying, there's a pretty good chance that we're going to get railroaded one way or the other. This sounds like they about to put this nigga through. They're gonna put him through the ringer with this, because I just feel like you're a popular young black YouTuber, and it's just kind of like you've made a name for yourself, and you're kind of known for, like, I don't know, his image is probably gonna hurt him a little bit, just basically based off of some of the antics that he portrays and some of the goofy shit, quite frankly, that he does on stream. And I do feel like if there was any time for a rebrand, you already started with the dreads. You cut the dreads off. You might need to change your whole approach to this shit after. I don't really feel like this is basically just getting started for DDG and Halle, unfortunately, right? Because once you get into that courtroom on some accusations about some DV, history has shown us that this doesn't usually end good. So I mean, listen, man, listen. They got Chris Brown in jail right now, fam. As I'm recording this episode, for some shit that happened 2 years ago or something crazy. A fight that happened in the club and a bottle got broke over somebody's head and blah 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 blah. We already know that Chris Brown's name is on that list. Okay? And we don't need to elaborate on that. But we already know that once your name gets on that list,
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
they might find you in a goddamn ocean somewhere, fam. They might not find you at all. Damn, son, we can't find him at all. Because once you get on that list, it gets spooky. It gets spooky. And right now, it does appear that DDG's name might have popped up on that list, fam. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. Listen, I've been on the internet. It's been a lot. I've been reading a lot of bullshit, quite frankly. I mean, I'm not even gonna hold you because you can't even filter this shit anymore, fam. I don't know why I see a Young Dame post all day, every hour on the hour, fam. I don't even know who Young Dame is. But Young Dame, this nigga's breaking stories that it's fake news all on the timeline. It's a lot, man. It is. And I'm ready to run away from this shit and go on another detox, quite frankly. I got 14 more episodes. What we got right now? Episode 83? I got 13 more episodes of this shit, and we are wrapping season 4 the fuck up, fam. Okay? And I'm leaving the country. Because at this point, I just feel like DDG and Willmatic TV, we both need a rebrand. I gotta come back with a whole nother approach to this. You know what I'm saying? This long form shit with me sitting like, yeah, I had a great run. I did. And we not even there yet, but I'm gonna applaud anyway. Let me applaud 13 days in advance and shit. What a great run. 4 seasons of this. I mean, man, there is no goddamn way that I can continue to do this podcast in this way. We're gonna figure it out. Obviously, we still got 13 more episodes left. Okay? I'm not ghosting y'all. I'm just saying it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, the screenshots, we can't continue to tell. It's a lot. It's too much. So DDG and Halle, that is the latest. Yeah, I mean, I guess we could speak on some of that. So yeah, obviously, you know, different people. You got people on, you know, DDG side, and then obviously you have people on Halle's side. You know, DDG's fans. Then you got Halle's fans. You got DDG's family and friends. Then you got Halle, Chloe, and Beyonce and Ivy Parker and shit. Okay, so that's kind of where, yeah, it can get really, really interesting, right? When you start looking at the two sides of the fence here. And yeah, some people came out and spoke up for DDG. You know, you got Deshae Frost, you know, obviously another streamer, you know, who's appeared on many streams with DDG. Obviously, these are two friends, you know, and, you know, he made it clear that, you know what I'm saying, he's standing with his guy, man. He's not going to allow people to think that these accusations are true. And basically, a lot of people are coming out with their different versions of situations. And now you got people trying to paint different narratives about people. And, you know, you got clips coming out. I seen a clip of Halle. I feel like she might have threw a punch at DDG brother or something crazy. Like she fighting niggas behind the scenes and shit. So basically what I'm saying is this. Once you get to this point of we're going to the courtroom now with accusations, you pretty much have to expect now for the gloves to kind of come off from both sides. And you're going to see a lot of different back and forth things being said over here, And quite frankly, I'm just not here for the, you know what I'm saying? The fucking YouTuber. It's about to be streamed, all type of shit, man. Kai Cenat, he got a streamer university going on right now. That wasn't on the docket. I just feel like I would just mention that because we talking about streams. But I definitely see that Kai Cenat, you know, started a streamer university, which I do feel like is dope. I do need more information. And quite frankly, I don't even know. This could just all be a big stream. Like, we don't know what the fuck to take serious when it comes to Kai Sadat, right? At this point. Like, is this actually a fucking universe? Like, is he really about to put some streamers in a school and really teach them the game? Because if it's that, then that's super dope. And I want to even drop a bomb for that right there. If that's what he doing. But if this is just like a big prank, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of this shit, niggas is going to blow up the classroom or something crazy. Then, alright, then this is just content, right? Which is dope too, but it's just kind of like, I feel like the streamer university would actually been dope if y'all really like taught. I mean, I see DDG a part of that shit, fam. DDG already lit. So I feel like, I don't know. Clearly this is not really, they probably not taking this seriously, right? Is what I'm really saying. University sounds like school to me. I don't really feel like they teaching anything. What lessons are being taught here? I know what lesson I'm learning here is, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say it on the microphone. I'm not going to say it on the microphone, but I just know that I've been very, very attentive. And I've been listen, man. This shit is crazy. Do we need to just move on at this point? They done threw Brent Fayez in the mix. Come on, fam. What Brent Fayez got to do with Halle Bailey and DDG, fam? Brent Fayez, I mean, I guess, right? Yeah, it's a lot of accusations right now. They basically were saying that Halle went to the Barbados or something. Like, she went on a whole vacation, with R&B singing sensation Brent Fayez and shit. So yeah, needless to say, I guess they've been having a little back and forth thing going on behind the scenes. Alright, listen, it's coming to the light now. And all I'm saying is this: everybody, all parties involved, just should know what basically comes with that. And this can get really, really ugly. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna move on at this point. We definitely about to move on. Alright, so the Sean P. Diddy Combs trial. This circus, this clown show, this is actually in its, I want to say, 5th or 6th day in trial. So basically it's a whole lot of nasty shit going on that, quite frankly, there's no way that I'm gonna come on here every week to do a recap of that. Okay? That's where I'm not a podcaster anymore, fam. That's where I take my podcaster hat off. I turn the mic off. I turn the TV off, fam. And I go to sleep before I come on here. In all seriousness, though, because I'm definitely losing my composure at this point. I'm very, very exhausted. I do want to get the fuck off of this. I do. We got a few more things we got to hit y'all with, though, before we end this episode. As far as this Sean P. Diddy, I don't know, what do you even call this guy at this point, fam? This is a nasty motherfucker right here, man. This is some nasty shit. I'm disgusted, okay, to say the least. In all seriousness, though, they are in, I believe, day 5 of the trial, or 6, whatever the case may be. The latest so Kid Cudi is scheduled to testify in the Diddy trial. That announcement was made today. Like I said, May 20th at the time of recording. So I believe that Cassie Ventura's mother made an appearance in the courtroom today. I don't have all of the specifics and all of the details on, basically I don't have the transcripts of what was said in the courtroom. I'm not there. I'm not going to the courtroom. I rode by. I did, just only because I was trying to see if I could bump into Lauren LaRosa and make it look like it was an accident. But I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like I'm going to catch her on day 7 or something. We going to wait to the end. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of media out there. There's a lot of cameras out there right now, fam. I know it's a lot of, I don't want to blow any potential business opportunities. All I'm saying is this. I don't have the transcripts. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't really have the appetite for this shit like that. I'll tune in here and there to like Lauren LaRosa reports and, basically I'll gander a few things from her, and then I basically just take that and turn it into my own report. And basically, what I've come up with as of right now, May 20th, 2025, my take on this whole situation. Well, not really my take on this situation, because obviously there is no one take that you can really have about this, is there? Outside of the fact that I'm just disgusted and I want nothing to do with this shit, right? I just feel like Cassie, based off of everything that I've been hearing thus far, and her testimony, and just all of the things that have been said up there, I'm not gonna repeat any of it. I'm not, because all of this stuff is out there. You guys can go and listen to this and be disgusted on your own time. I'm certainly not going, not on the EBCG. But what I can say is this. What I can say is that I can clearly see a scenario. I clearly see why Cassie and Diddy ended up together, basically, right? Based off of everything I'm hearing, and based off of all of the things that have been said, it does appear, or it does seem like, I don't know if Cassie, I want to be very, very careful with this, because Cassie is pregnant right now. Cassie is a wife. She's moved on. She started a new family, a new life. Okay? Anything that she's speaking on up there right now, obviously, is the past. And that's, a lot of that stuff, it doesn't sound like to me that Cassie is all the way there, though. I don't understand why would you feel like going into a courtroom? I'm just saying, there's a lot of graphic things being said, man. This is a whole fucking racketeering case where they're trying to basically prove if a nigga, like, basically what I thought was getting ready to come out, none of the shit that they was basically threatening and all of those threats and reports about, the bombshell getting ready to drop, I haven't really heard any of that. All I've been hearing is a bunch of weird, disgusting, pornographic things that I probably wouldn't watch. Like all of the weird shit, that the porno shit that you don't watch and shit. The categories that you never clicked on. I'm just hearing a lot of weird shit, and I'm just trying to figure out, like, bro, is this lady mentally ill? Like, why would you come into the courtroom and say this shit? You in front of your husband, you got a whole baby in you. And I'm just disgusted. I am, quite frankly. I really am happy that this is, basically taking place, only because I want this shit to be over with. I'm done. I'm done with it. We're in day 7. I don't know how long this is going to, play out. This might go on into 2027 at this point, fam. Because now they talking about Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi going to testify, and that's crazy to me. I'm not even going to hold you, fam. We ain't even really been hearing you musically. Like, your last shit that you put out musically, your last body of work was kind of a dud. Like, it really was. And you come in the courtrooms to testify. You got time to testify, but you not dropping no heat. Like, what has Kid Cudi become? You know what I'm saying? Why are you even in the courtroom, man? Because they're saying that, Cassie, she dated him and all of that shit. So clearly, I'm not keeping up with this shit at all. Clearly, I don't want to talk about this. Unfortunately, we have to somewhat keep our eye on the situation, That's all I can really stomach for this week in regards to the Diddy trial. I'll probably not ever come back on here and speak about this ever again. No, realistically though, we will be staying tuned. And basically, I'm just waiting for something more concrete. That's all. That's really what I'm saying. I haven't really seen anything yet that really feels like. I just feel like I'm looking at and listening to two weird people, bro. That it's a lot of weird motherfuckers out here, man. That don't necessarily mean that you throw them in prison though, because now as far as assault and things like that, now we talking about something else. But unfortunately, this is not an assault trial, right? So they keep bringing up this goddamn video, and I'm confused, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know who to trust. I'm traumatized. That's my take on that situation, fam. I want this shit to be over, though. I do. And however this shit play out, either way this shit go, I really feel like all parties involved should be in prison at this point for the trauma that I had to endure. That's just me personally. But however this shit plays out, and whatever the outcome may be, I mean, listen, man. You know, just know that it couldn't be Willmatic TV on this EBCG. Ain't no way in hell, fam. They will never get me. Are you fucking kidding me, fam? Like I said, man, 13 more episodes. Yeah, we gonna figure out a way to basically go more. Like, I'm only giving y'all audio now. Y'all might not ever get the visuals at this point. I don't want to be seen on the internet, fam. All these weird motherfuckers out here. Hey, yo, man, check this out, though. Fuck all that. And at this point, hey, yo, mic check. How do I even get into this shit right here? Alright, so off top, New York is up right now, man. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it, man. I can't even come on here. I can't even hold my bias back anymore. We've had this conversation about East Coast versus West Coast. Come on, man. I already told y'all my stance on the situation. And I said verbatim that I will not allow myself to, basically make the same mistakes that I feel like the journalists, the podcasters, the broadcasters, the columnists, the fucking newspaper, all of those, the magazine, all of those people from the 90s, the Vibe, the Source Awards. I just felt like we've kind of seen this movie play out before. And what I'm really saying is this. Fuck all that, fam. Fuck all that. That was then. This is now. Ladies and gentlemen, Joey Badass. Okay? Brooklyn's finest. One of Brooklyn's finest, quite frankly. I mean, he could claim Brooklyn's finest right now in this moment. Cause I ain't gonna hold you, fam. We ain't hear no bars from Fab yet. Okay? I'm just saying, fam. What are we doing right now, fam? What are we doing? We got a whole coast going after one individual from over here on our side, and I just feel like I don't know. I feel like the numbers is kind of lopsided right now. Although what we can clearly see is that the brother was well prepared to say the least. Joey Badass has been putting on a master class, okay? And quite frankly, and we're not going to discount what them other guys are doing as well. Big New York energy. I don't even feel like, do we even have to say their names on this episode? Like, y'all know who I'm talking about, right? Those other guys from over there, fam. We don't really need to put any light and shine any light on them. We're not going to do that. We're not. Shout out to Daylight Reason and Ray Vaughn, who obviously, Jay, who somebody else got in this shit too today. Huh? J3, hit a J3, huh? Yeah. The West Coast, they listen, man. They're making it be clear that they're not gonna allow, like, there is no fair ones in the West Coast. Basically, is what I'm that's the energy that is given off. It's like we don't do no fair ones, fam. If you fighting one of us, you're fighting all of us, and that has clearly been the case for Joey Badass. All right, so what am I alluding to? If you haven't been under a rock, clearly Joey Badass, really since the beginning of the year, we had this conversation back in January, when Joey Badass dropped The Ruler's Back, and he dropped something else as well. He dropped 2 freestyles, and on those freestyles, he basically, more or less, was throwing shots. At this point, we could just call a spade a spade. He let off a couple of shots at a couple of cats fitted and all that. You know what I'm saying? A couple of cats out west and all that. We don't really need to say no names or nothing crazy. Well, we know who he was shooting at, and the message was received. They sent a couple of shots back. And, you know, it was cool. It was cool. You know, some time went by, and I feel like it kind of got quiet for that. And I feel like we all kind of felt like, you know, that ran its course. Everybody kind of got some things, you know, a couple of cats had some things they had to get out of their system. You know what I'm saying? People had to get some things off of their chest, and that was basically what happened. That was 4 months ago in January. We fast forward to May, and quite frankly, I don't even have at this point the timeline. Like where did this even, like, how did this start again? Because I felt like I said, it kind of got quiet. You know, it quieted down a little bit. Everything was kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick and SZA went on tour. You know what I'm saying? They out here breaking records. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my guy. They hit another milestone, something crazy. They up there with Bad Bunny, with the tour, the numbers and shit, the ticket sales, something crazy. And we already know what numbers he pulling in. Okay? But I say all that to say this. I'm not really sure. So what is the timeline? All right, I'm back. I definitely had to break audio just now to do a whole timeline of events because, quite frankly, I completely got lost along the way, right? So as we know, Joey Bada, he came out the gate swinging in 2025, coming off of a very, very highly competitive rap year, or just a highly competitive year for hip hop. In particular for Drake and Kendrick Lamar, or more specifically Drake in that instance as it played out. Very, very, very highly competitive, very, very challenging year. Okay? Very, very fun, entertaining year. Depending on who you chose to win that battle, fam. And quite frankly, I hate to be the guy to do this, but y'all already know. Y'all know who I picked to win, right? Season 3, and everybody can go. I'll fast forward. So Joey Bada, basically coming off of that energy. And this is not even really anything new. I feel like we spoke on this. We spoke on the fact that Joey Bada comes from that cloth. I told y'all this. I mean, the snippet is right there. It's on my page. Scroll down. It's a lot of snippets now, but I'm just saying, if you scroll down, you will clearly see at some point in January, I had this conversation and I said it then. I fully expect for Joey Bada not only to respond. Are you kidding me? Respond. This nigga's from Brooklyn, New York City, fam. Okay? Nigga been in the game since he was 17. He put out a classic album when he was 19, fam. This kid has been rapping at a high level since he got into the game. Needless to say, he's been rapping probably since he's been in diapers or something crazy. That individual, to me, is not an individual that you can sleep on, okay? And that's me speaking from experience, you know, as somebody who's been podcasting since I was in diapers. I know I'm the illest at this shit, realistically, fam. I know that when I'm ready to mic up, I could take over the timeline in the blink of an eye. I'll get Joe Budden the fuck out of here, fam. Okay? Let me get a compressor and some goddamn, a few white walls and shit, a board. If I get all of the equipment, you know what I'm saying, and parks and shit, no. But in all seriousness, though, Joey Bada is not new to this. He's true to this. I tried to tell y'all this on the last episode. I'm not really sure y'all didn't understand. All right, cool. We fast forward. And what happened? What happened? He barred Rayvon up. Okay? Absolutely. They went back and forth. Rayvon put out, the Crash Out Heritage track. I feel like we already had a conversation about that. I wasn't necessarily, I didn't really feel like it was, I didn't appreciate the fact that he used the Heart Part 6. I mean, quite frankly, because that was my favorite song on GNX. I just felt like for a battle or for a diss, that wasn't really the energy I wanted to, for the diss record. Needless to say, we're 15 or 16 diss records in at this point, and now we got all type of energy going on, fam. You got Daylight drop. All right, so I'm trying to figure out. So where did we start? It got quiet. And then, suddenly, what I'm saying, out of nowhere, quite frankly, I wasn't even aware of the Red Bull Spiral. So Red Bull does they have a freestyle series that they do every year, I guess. This is like an annual thing. I had no idea that this was even a thing. So needless to say, when I seen it, I clicked on it right away, right? Joey Badass, Ab-Soul, Big Sean, Red Bull Spiral Freestyle. I'm not gonna play this. I'm not because quite frankly, there's so much music to play at this point. I just don't want that many strikes on this episode. I don't. They will strike my shit. This shit will not be able to go in the algorithm, right? The Red Bull Freestyle is kind of what got us started, and needless to say, I'm gonna have to play some of this, man. Hold on, let me get some of it on.
It's Shine Down, man. Red Bull Spiral. I got my nigga Ab-Soul, Joey Badass. Me first, fuck it.
Okay.
Going nowhere fast, but from your view you could never tell. No wonder, cause you live your life based on a carousel. You bums could probably teach a master class on taking L's. Truth is, if you wake up hating life, then you hate yourself. Damn, that's how you feel, bro? You see, most niggas crack under pressure, but I'm a natural.
So off top, they doing choreograph. You know what I'm saying? So my first reaction when I seen that initial they doing some shit, like it looks like it's kind of choreographed. I did have the thought that possibly maybe this could have been, shot a few months back type shit. You know what I'm saying? Which obviously, leaves room for Daylight to come out and basically put out a diss where he basically did, he already had all of these bars on here that Joey basically dropped before Joey dropped them. And that's probably because he heard this shit when the shit, a couple of months back. You know what I'm saying? Ab-Soul is there. You got a mole in there and shit. It's moles and camps and shit. And what I'm really saying is it's really feeling like, yeah, this is actually, basically what we were asking for last year, quite frankly. And realistically, what I'm really saying is Drake, you should be absolutely ashamed of yourself right now, fam. Are you fucking kidding me? Y'all done made Joey Badass. This nigga is a whole actor now, fam. He part-time rapper, fam. But even Joey Badass as a part-time rapper said, you know what, fam? I gotta come back and remind these niggas, man. Number one, first and foremost, where this shit all started at. Let's start there. You know what I'm saying? I gotta remind these niggas why New York City is the mecca of this hip-hop shit. You know what I'm saying? Where the seeds were originally planted. Okay? Did we sprout out and grow into other regions and other territories and other states and other coasts and develop into something very, very beautiful? Absolutely. But the root and the seeds of this shit, it started in New York City. Okay? I just wanted to make sure that we were very, very clear about those facts before we continue to have this discussion. And y'all already know where I sit at. Now, granted, I wave my West Coast flag. I do. We appreciate Snoop. Like I said before, we appreciate Dr. Dre. We appreciate Ice Cube. We appreciate Raz Kass. We appreciate Kendrick Lamar, Ab-Soul, Schoolboy Q, J-Rock, Black Hippie. Absolutely. Thank you, West Coast. And we're going to applaud right now. Thank you and round of applause to the West Coast for all of your contributions in the game. However, when it's all said and done, let the history books show this shit all started in New York. Period. Point blank. So with that being said, Joey Badass, a native New York MC, I feel like it's only right that he comes out and he lets that fact be known and he waves that flag. And I mean, let's get to these bars, man. Let's get to these bars because realistically, I didn't even get it. I couldn't even really do a full breakdown of the bars before 2 or 3 more tracks dropped. Okay, understand that this is the Kendrick and Drake on steroids type shit. Like we ain't really the volume of records. We've already surpassed that. Is what I'm saying, right? We already got more daylight responses than we probably got. You know what I'm saying? Total records from that whole entire situation, fam. Now everything ain't hitting though, and that's where I got to chime in, right? That's really what I came on here for. That's really where we have to come and draw a line in the sand and actually be realistic about this situation, fam. Just because you drop 15 goddamn times in a week, fam, that does not mean that you're winning the battle by any means. Okay? There is no goddamn way. Daylight, you dropped 15 records with 1,000 bars in them, fam. But your beat selections have been a little suspect. I ain't really been feeling the beat selection. He put out, so alright, let's sift through some of these at this point, okay? Because I feel like I can say it, right? But if we don't really have the alright, so the Red Bull Spiral freestyle, it is what it is. That's already kind of went viral. I'm pretty sure we all heard that at this point. Joey Bada, you know, one of his best rapping performances to this day, you know, in his entire career, I want to say, you know. Just for the simple fact that I don't feel like we've ever really seen him in a cypher kind of situation outside of the freshman XXL cypher, you know, that all of the artists do when they first get in the game and shit. Outside of that, we haven't really seen him in that kind of cypher, you know, scenario. I feel like that his style of rap and the way that his sound and his style, I just feel like his energy matches not only the cypher arena well, but also I feel like the beat selection for the Red Bull Spiral, you know, that beat complemented, you know what I'm saying? He walked on that. That was basically right up his alley, right? It was an alley-oop. Big Sean, he got his shit off. Absol, he got his shit off. But I just feel like vocally, you know, they can't really project the same way that Joey Badass can. That's that East Coast. And this is what I'm saying. Like, when you really from some shit organically, it ain't really on you, it's in you. He was rapping like that shit was in him on that shit, and I'm not even gonna hold you. Clearly, that shit went viral for a goddamn reason. So clearly, he, you know, after this Red Bull Spiral freestyle drops, the internet is in an uproar. Everybody's going crazy. We got a couple of responses at this point. I feel like, who responded first? Was it Daylight or was it Ray Vaughn? Was it Reason? The whole goddamn West Coast is in a frenzy right now. Brand new Ray Vaughn. What is this? Golden Eye. So you got okay. And this is why we had to come out the gate the way we did on this episode, and this is why we had to set the tone, because I feel like I said once again, you know, when it comes to certain, you know, y'all know beat jacking, that was like the original form of battling and shit, right? So what I'm listening to right now is Ray Vaughn rapping over a 50 Cent. I mean, Get Rich or Die Trying. That's one of our fucking. That's like Scarface in the archives of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? That's like a Scarface basically. Like, that's one of our staples, right? So he went back, he took it to the original battle format, this shit, fam. I'm jacking the beat, fam. Give me that beat, fam. Yeah. I'm not even gonna hold you. That's tough. That's a tough move right there. I'm not mad at that move. I'm mad that he took the beat that he took, and he ain't really have no real bars for it like that. Now, let me hear it. Let me hear some of this real quick.
Holy shit, and got get back on Troy and ain't say shit. Heard he out here begging for Doc. I let the case
Brand new Ray Vaughn. Golden Eye.
Little shots ain't hurt by
Joey Badass response. Hold on, let me get it up right. So this is brand new Ray Vaughn, but I don't want to play the whole thing though. Fuck this shit, man. I'm not playing this shit, man. Let's get to some East Coast shit. Cause at the end of the day, like I said, I'm biased, fam. I'm biased. I'm not playing none of the West Coast responses. We gonna only play the Joey responses, fam. Cause realistically, they taking beats and they ain't even really walking on them shits. I feel like Joey, the beat selections that Joey's using. Alright, so look, let me play some of the Daylight shit. I'm not gonna do that. So Daylight, I do feel like the titles. I see what he's trying to do with the very, very New York centric Word is Bond. Let me play some more Word is Bond. This is brand new Daylight. Word is Bond. This is his response to Joey Badass. This is actually an ad playing right now, but realistically, he probably should have used this instrumental right here. Because it's probably slapping harder than the one he chose. Is this the one where he...
Can I talk to you for a second?
Okay, so let me slow down. So this is actually like a tribute he put out to Steez, right? Which I do feel like, you know, obviously there was a relationship, a history, Daylight, Joey Badass, Absol, Capital Steez, you know, they kind of had formed this group, this pack, this clique back in the Dizzy and all that. So yeah, that's also, you know, and what I'm really saying is that this is all for the sport at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Don't let my tone fool you. I'm just here for the sport. None of this is actually, like, I'm actually very, very happy to see that basically we kind of did need to see this, man, especially considering the fact that, you know, the last battle that we seen in hip-hop, unfortunately, is still not over, right? Because that went and spilled over into the courtrooms, and now that's a legal battle going on, right? So I do feel like it is kind of dope to see, you know, that, you know, MCs could kind of get in the ring and basically use, just keep it rap, you know what I'm saying? And it doesn't necessarily have to go anywhere else, right? So with that, I do want to say that, yeah, we appreciate that, and all that's all fine and dandy. But at the same time, fam, who got the best bars though? AZ Chike, what would you do? Joey Badass this. So AZ, that's another, I forgot about his. So you got AZ Chike, or Shike, or Chike, I don't know how to pronounce this shit. Chike, fam. However you pronounce this, okay? There's probably a whole set out there, something crazy. This might be some gang-related shit. I don't even know if I should really even be saying this on my platform, fam. Because we know that when it comes to the West Coast, okay, y'all don't always keep it hip-hop, fam. We done lost a couple motherfuckers out there now. Okay, we done lost Biggie, Pop Smoke. We lost Nipsey out there, fam. The West Coast is not necessarily the safest place to be, okay? So we just want to make sure that everything is like, we keeping this shit hip hop. Like, let's be very, very clear about what we doing here. AZ Chike, Reason. I mean, at this point, it's literally Joey versus the West. Now, we definitely had a couple of other responses on our coast as well. Shout out to J1. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. New York stand up. Absolutely. You know, we ain't all about to just sit back and watch. Nah, fam. J1 definitely came out. You know what I'm saying? He put a little response out there. Salute to him for that. I feel like Kai Cash responded as well. A lot of people probably don't know who that is, but absolutely, Will Maddie TV is tapped in. Salute to Kai Cash for the response and for repping and waving your flag. You know what I'm saying? It's not the time to be naive right now. It's not the time to be, you know, basically, like, if you are a rapper right now and you basically enjoy this sport and you love this game, I feel like there's really no excuse right now, man. You know, if you really are what you say you are, we want to hear you go bar for bar. And right now, it's a few cats in the ring right now, quite frankly. Okay? And if this is a Royal Rumble, he's getting jumped. Like, you know, in the Royal Rumble when, like, a tag team is in the Royal Rumble and like one of the tag team partners come out and the other one don't come out yet, you don't got your partner with you, right? You by yourself, you dolly. Joey Badass is on the mat right now waiting for that 10 count because he's looking for his partners to come in, fam. Where the fuck is the East Coast right now? Where's Brooklyn? Where Brooklyn at? In the words of the notorious B.I.G., where is Brooklyn at, fam? Where are we at? Where is Fab right now, fam? I'm looking for Fab right now. I'm not even gonna hold you. Fab, this is your moment right here, fam. This might be the defining moment of your career right here, low key. I feel like I'm looking for Fab. Jadakiss, you know, shout out to Jadakiss, Joe and Jada. You know, they on their podcast shit right now. I know how much work goes into this. I just don't see a scenario where they dropping an episode and they dropping a verse in the same day. It's a lot. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I feel like they have moved on. They have transitioned. And quite frankly, they might have even graduated from even being, you know, eligible to respond. If Kiss or Fat Joe, two New York natives, obviously, two New York staples, two New York icons, legends, you know, YOBX. But if you know, obviously if they put out a record, anything that they put out musically will always be received. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to this particular situation, yeah, there's certain individuals in particular who I'm looking for. And I'm just saying, man, at the top of that list, if it's not Fab, it's absolutely J. Cole. Okay? Who does have some New York roots. And we already know Forest Hills Drive. Listen, J. Cole, come on, at the end of the day, you from Queens too, fam. We know North Carolina, Fayetteville, but at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, your best album cover, okay, was shot in Queens, New York. Stand up. Where we at? Cole, where you at, my boy? It's time. You know, we don't even need to fall off this year, realistically, fam. The amount of responses that's going out, they rapping right now, fam. All I'm saying is this. We know you got something in your backpack. Where you at, dog? Now, as far as... So, yeah, obviously, I done lost count, right? It's been a lot of responses from out west. And salute to all of those brothers, man. I'm not mad at the fact that, you know what I'm saying? Dudes just standing on their square at the end of the day. You know, they're not going to allow their coast to be out-rapped, quite frankly, you know. So basically, their approach right now is kind of, you know, it's more about quantity. I just feel like Joey Badass is winning the battle when it comes to quality. And you don't got to take my word for it, you know what I'm saying? As far as the Joey versus Kendrick piece of this whole thing, obviously, yes. Kendrick is the king of the West Coast right now, currently. You know, I mean, and you know, last year you can even say that he was the king of, you know, the rap game as a whole, based on, you know, just the trajectory and how things were going last year. However, I will say, not everybody is qualified to take shots at the throne. However, when you rapping on this level, and quite frankly, what Joey Badass has been displaying over the course of, you know, well, really since this year began, you know, back in January, you know, he's been taking shots and he's been making it really, really clear that he wants all the smoke, fam. Yeah. I don't care if it's Kendrick. I don't care if it's Top Dog at this point. Yeah. He's calling out all of the top dogs, no pun intended, in the rap game. And clearly, Joey Badass is outside and he's rapping at a very, very high level. Do I think that Kendrick is going to actually respond to this? I do. At the end of the day, Kendrick Lamar is an MC at his core. That is what he came into this game. He started as an MC. And I feel like, yeah, he's on tour right now. Well played, Joey. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take these shots, you know, while you on tour and shit. And it's actually similar to what happened last year. Because, you know, when Like That dropped, right? You know, the Like That record, Future, Metro Boomin, and Kendrick Lamar, you know, that verse that ultimately, you know, started one of the biggest rap beefs in hip-hop history. When that verse first dropped, Drake was on tour last year when this thing all started, right? So that was also in play. So here now, I guess we have to kind of see, you know, the roles have reversed now. You know what I'm saying? Now you in position and you that guy and you're on tour and you got somebody up and coming throwing shots at you now, right? I don't feel like it's the same. I just don't feel like the venom is gonna be there, just for the simple fact that you know what I'm saying, there's a relationship and there's a history here. You know, Joey Bada, Kendrick Lamar, you know, they came into the game just around the same time. I'm not even gonna hold you, man. I made a point about beat selection, right. So obviously at this point I've lost count of the amount of records that have dropped as far as the West Coast responses, right? You got Hitter J3. Every artist who featured on G and X dropped a response, fam. AZ, Chike, Hitter J3. You got Reason. You know what I'm saying? Reason not even on TDE no more, fam. But Reason is letting it be known that it ain't about the label. It's not about that. It's about a line in the sand has been drawn. And at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, I'm shooting with the West Coast. And that's cool. And we respect that. You have to shoot a little harder. Know what I'm saying? I'm just, you know, listen, man, it is what it is. Shout out to Reason. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Reason. You know, I do feel like Reason is, you know, a dope rapper. You know. But you're going to have to come a little harder, man. I don't know, man. Listen. You could call it East Coast bias. I don't know. You could call it whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, listen, man. Y'all know Kendrick my favorite artist at the end of the day, right? So this is low key. While I'm actually enjoying this, at the same time, I want to be very, very clear. You know, I really don't have a horse in this race here. I'm just enjoying this as a spectator, as a fan. I'm just here for the competitive sport. You know what I'm saying? The art of bars. You know, and that's kind of what it's all, you know, about. I see a lot of people trying to make this more than what it really needs to be. Like I seen Sean C. You know what I'm saying? Sean C. put out a damn near a 60 minutes piece where he basically went into the, you know what I'm saying, the history of violence. And I'm not going to sit here and act like that's not something that crossed my mind. You know, that was kind of, you know, my perspective on the situation back in January. You know, initially, you know, I wasn't so sure. And yeah, we have seen these situations, you know, occur and things do get blown out of proportion and blah, 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 blah. I'm getting ready to play another track, okay? Because like I said, a lot of y'all jumped out the window, realistically, fam. This was a 1-on-2. It was already a handicap match, fam. We didn't need for this to turn into a 5-on-1. Cool. Then y'all started to get real crazy, and y'all started to grab certain instrumentals. Is Kendrick gonna respond? All I'm saying is this. Joey is not scared. He's clearly not scared. He's clearly not worried. He's clearly not afraid. If he does respond, which I don't feel like he will, it's not gonna be a full track or a full diss record. But I'm pretty sure that, listen, we've been hearing this rumor about a Kendrick Lamar G and X deluxe album. So I do feel like, you know, maybe, possibly, you know, we did see Kendrick Lamar was spotted in New York City. Nigga in New York right now, fam. That nigga not even in the West. That nigga out East. And he's in the studio and he in the lab cooking up as I record right now, fam. I don't know if he's actually cooking up right now, but we definitely did see photos of him spotted either entering or leaving the NYC studio. My point is this. I fully expect for Kendrick Lamar, who is a MC, like I'm sure he's hearing all of this, and I'm sure he's enjoying this, and I'm sure that he might even partially feel somewhat responsible for this. Like, yeah, I got these niggas rapping again, fam. You know what I'm saying? I brought back the competitive element, and that was basically what this shit was about. You know, out the gate, you know, really. But obviously, you know, when he dropped Control, and, you know, everybody kind of lost control, right? That was initially, you know, the record that was supposed to get everybody to, you know, start rapping again. I mean, this is nothing new. You know. When Control dropped, you know what I'm saying? I feel like Joey Badass, you know, he was one of the, you know, he had a response. He had a response for Control, you know, Illuminati Part 2. You know what I'm saying? And that was way back then.
Yo, Joey Badass, shout out Be Real TV. We out here, rock the bells, nigga. Only rapper, the shoe back?
So this is actually an old clip.
Oh, yo, you mean the only one who hit? Is that what you mean? I don't know. Nah, but, you know, I just do me. Kendrick, that's the homie and shit, like, you know? Competitive sport, that's what hip-hop is about. Yeah, nothing but hip-hop, like, you know? What do you mean, Kendrick? We just had a show in Seattle. That shit was fucking bananas, dude.
So the back and forth, that element has always existed between Joey Badass and Kendrick Lamar. That was a clip from 11 years ago at a festival. You know, we got Reason. You know, he jumped on. What he grabbed? I'm from New York. You know what I'm saying? He grabbed one of our instrumentals. You know what I'm saying? They flipped it. You know. It was a bar or two. It might have been 2 or 3 bars in there. You know what I'm saying? Personally, I wasn't really, you know. It was cool. Daylight. I feel like Daylight, quality over quantity. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if you're going to respond, I just feel like you need to make sure that the records are mixed. I need, you know, the vocals to be over the instrumental. I feel like if the records are not mixed, there's really no point of putting them out. You know what I'm saying? If we ain't going to be able to, if they're not audible, the game is over. Joey won, okay? This shit is over. That nigga went and grabbed Pac. He went and grabbed Tupac. That nigga went and grabbed Hit 'Em Up. Like, yeah. Y'all want to go into the crates? Come on, man. They went and got Get Rich or Die Trying. Come on, you got Ray Vaughn rapping over Back Down. He not really on the beat the right way. He ain't really, you know what I'm saying? The vocal inflections is not really inflecting the way they need to be inflected on Back Down. That ain't really for you, sir. Reason, come on, he went and grabbed, you know what I'm saying? I'm from New York. 2 New York classics. They not wasting no time. They going straight into the archives. They going into the catalog. But if that's what we doing, and if that's what y'all doing, then this is what I'm doing. Brand new Joey Badass. Crash Out Dummy. New York, Brooklyn, stand up. What we doing?
Goddamn, almost got sick of waiting like a bad doctor, nigga. I ain't got a lot of patience. Y'all niggas back on the clock, and anything past 24 hours is a shot clock violation. With the current situation, niggas just clickbait. How predictable, this the angle I was anticipating. Thank you for making it clear to me that that scared, but yeah, I was at the party, but I also seen top there. In fact, we was talking about the same very plot here. Y'all niggas going outside, cause I'm the one on top here. He said,
Hey Joey, I got the shortest name Ray Vaughn. I'd appreciate if you would really help me put him on.
I said, okay, top, but you know what's gonna cost you. You know I really want the one who elevated your off star.
Okay.
These niggas head top, right to the top like dreadlocks. Joey got the whole rap game in the headlock. I'm letting no shots. I seen this whole shit from afar, the way I read that. Niggas can't walk on these shoes, dog, they dead stock. They been enjoying the perks, but I don't mid pop. I pop out and show niggas how they hold niggas simultaneously, aiming at least 4 niggas. How many more niggas is it really gonna take to drop him? They need 101 Dalmatians just to spot him and got him. My lyrical trick making them big bucks.
This is crazy. Do you hear the bars?
Matter of fact, I think they forgot the last time I destroyed an average rapper who tried to click a cheap shot. Now they reminiscing over you like Pete Rock. I ride through the city in that GL smooth and made back. You know I came to do what it do. Is we rapping or we yapping? Nigga jokes on you. Hey, scare money, don't make no money.
Come on, that nigga got a hook. That nigga got a story. It's bars. This shit is mixed and mastered. I'm just saying, fam. What are we doing? What are we actually doing? Because Joey is up 3-0 right now. Let's go.
Ask myself, what would Kenny do? Any day of the week, I take on at least 10 of you. You got dirt on me because I buried you. Y'all niggas is hysterical. Ain't no coming back from this. You need a miracle. Joey just spun again. How could it be? It's like he knew it was coming. The future, what he foresee. Have you ever thought TDE was working for me? How the fuck am I your OG? You older than me. This ain't a fair fight. It's a fucking slaughter. Why you keep bringing up pregnant women? Don't you got water? You really need to get your affairs in order. Last time I checked, your label exec was in hot water. The Diddy house single is terrible. You making it way too easy for me. We ain't comparable. When I'm done with you, top unless you drop like Caribou. Guaranteed, this the last time we ever hear from you.
I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you, fam. This nigga might have had this in the tuck for a couple years right here, man. I'm not even gonna hold you, fam. This is amazing penmanship, man. I'm very, very pleased, to say the least, that I'm representing the East, fam. I'm not mad that Joey Badass is on my team, fam. You know what I'm saying? This right here is he took it to another level with this. I do feel like he was waiting for this moment. You know what I'm saying? On fourth or fifth listen now. This might be my sixth listen to this particular record right here. Because I do feel like this is some of the best rapping, not only in the battle thus far, in the back and forth that's currently taking place, but really just in his whole entire catalog at this point. There's a lot. There's a lot of bars on here. Third verse. This next verse, nigga goes absolutely berserk. Is this the one? Time to show the world who I am. I've been a man. Loaded up my clip on jam. I spin again. I'm taking all the shots. They say I opened up Pandora's box. I'm breaking all the locks on all the gates. They find a key. Walking off all the locks. They think I had to reach. Keep thinking shit sweet. When it come to beef, let my teeth sing. Kicking up dust because my niggas really street sweet. Niggas better rethink. I don't throw cells. I don't talk people that hear through your face when I speak my piece. I beat the beat strictly your instinct. All the speculation is lame. I tell it plain. I ain't gotta drop a nigga name just for him to feel a flame. Niggas for the fame, niggas swerving in my lane. I take them on the scenic route. I'ma stand on every bar. Promise I won't bleep them out. It's demons inside my soul. Family who wanna bring them out. Keep my white name out your mouth before you get Chris back. We ain't ducking smoke, that's out, bitch. This is hip hop. All I need is a microphone and a disc jock, and I'ma make this shit hot. Let my tick rock to my tick pop. I do this shit for big pop and pop smoke. How many more New York niggas got it down? Y'all stand up. Got mad love if y'all niggas mad cause I'm putting off of my section. I should be mad you niggas never ask yourself that question. Part of me for my question. I know that's a tough pill to swallow. I give you time just to digest it. Just keep back and I hope you know. Keep it rap killing with the flow. Now keep back and enjoy the show. Hey yo, man. The scoreboard has been updated. Joey Badass currently up 3-0 against the entire West Coast right now. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm very, very impressed. I'm very, very pleased, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out, and if this does continue, and if we actually do at some point get a response from Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar, you are on the clock, sir. You know what I'm saying? The tour is amazing. Looks great. Brooklyn, stand up.
I'm back. That's right, stupid, are you dumb? Nigga, 6 nigga, Joey. What kind of top dog is you? You more shit shoe. You was cloned in the lab, dog. You artificial. You known for your label, not because you're artificial. And I ain't gotta talk about I broke you artificial. Cause when I send shots at you, it be hard to miss you. Ain't gotta load a magazine just to press this issue. In fact, these ain't even shots, they missions. Trying to outclass a badass. So I gotta dismiss you. You all bark, no bite, but hit dogs going holler. Caught a couple strays. Now it's time I put them on the collar. I let them rock while I charge them for top dollar. You the next nigga getting dropped off the top roster. And I'ma be the reason. Okay, bet you shit dog looking for beef with a seasoned vet. And you deny sick pups, nigga. You gon' see. You barking up the wrong tree, think you fucking with me. It's about time, top, let your ass go for the leash. Sound for 5 years, get your biggest moment for me. Can't nobody name a single song you ever released. Even Crash Out wasn't your original beat. Every time Joey drop, you see he eats. I did more for you than the whole of TDE. It's too bad, nigga, you should have been signed to me. Somebody tell Top we about to start TDE.
Yeah. And that was the first of a few responses from Joey, because like I said, at this point, quite frankly, TDE, somebody went and got Top on the phone for sure. Okay? They are sending every goddamn artist on their roster after Joey Badass. You know what I'm saying? At this point. Oh, okay. So Loaded Lux definitely tagged himself in. All right, okay. Harlem, stand up. You know what I'm saying? Loaded Lux definitely came, and got himself involved in the mix on this next record I'm getting ready to play. The name of this track right here is called My Town. This is brand new Joey Badass featuring Loaded Lux. Let's get into it.
These niggas must forgot, man. Hey, y'all niggas must forgot, man.
Okay.
Y'all niggas done fucked up now, man.
Uh-oh.
You know what I'm saying? Are you stupid? Are you dumb?
Everybody can't go.
Y'all niggas thought this was, man.
Brand new Joey Badass featuring Loaded Lux. East Coast, New York, stand up.
Y'all niggas won.
Get it.
Look, your days is number like days of summer. Bring the shine, I'ma bring that thunder. You're talking like I can't see light. Yeah, okay. The question isn't me v you or you v Ray. Either way, these cells keep it passed out. Lights off when I black out. Swerving in the lane with me, better crash out. Niggas lightweight, I swear I ain't even maxed out. No matter what stage they put you on, you still assed out. Your thirst for attention is sad. Nothing you can say could take away that such shit you said on the flag. I would say I'ma get on your ass, but you might like that. Smoking all you niggas in the blunt, just the light pack. Now I need for months, they told Joey to fight back. Now every punchline they need a clutch and an ice pack. You silly with the uppercuts, video proof. Fuck y'all niggas still tweeting for. Get in the booth, I'm ready to shoot. Y'all better all according to truth. Better yet, get the general, killing his troops. Put the last nigga in a body bag. Now I just spun back to get his dog tag. Thought I told y'all, niggas ain't fucking with me rhyme for rhyme. They ain't war ready, they more ready for Comic-Con. We wanted with the rap phenomenon, take a number 4 in line. I'ma get through the day fast like Ramadan. I'm the real boogeyman, y'all niggas should be afraid. Fuck taking y'all so long, you niggas 7 days. All them shots y'all took, and I ain't even get crazed. Son of y'all, Canaan ain't the only thing getting raised. Triple entendre, don't even ask me how I pack him out. Punchlines pack the packy out. Tell them real balls is back in style. And y'all niggas getting smoked like Black and Miles. Chill, I heard the streets call you queer. I wonder why your feathers falls. My nigga teach a man to stop. I'm a gladiator, word of Russell, flexing on you niggas. And I ain't even had to move a single. The kid from Westbrook got the whole West cooked. They jazz weak now, heard they working on their best hook. Look, Rayvon was so last week. Now I'm hearing shit about some nigga named Ash Cheek. Who wanna be the next victim? How many top dogs will it take to sick 'em? Trying to take a bite out the apple is just forbidden. I'ma break them down to the atom, then split them when I hit them. With the finisher, eyes on the prize, hit on my fire, don't make me pull it, sir. Better be wise, cause if the Whitaker, I'm dotting T's and cross your eyes like Whitaker. The plot is now thicker than Vivica Fox's. I'm killing ya, I'm really the villain. I'm back and restoring the feeling. Y'all niggas is really the villains. Nothing but my children's. These flows could break ceilings, knock buildings down. Told y'all niggas I'm back, I know you feel it now. And that was cute, making it seem like you predicted my part. When in reality, you heard my freestyle since March. I'm calling your bluff. You wanna see me, cause you running for
niggas who say they want power, go script, post the battle, you don't commit. But what I can do is put it on wax.
Let's go, Lux.
Let's hold a minute. This bitch
New York, stand up, nigga. What's up?
I was just at Jordan
Harlem.
with the kickflip. What we doing? East to the west, that's crossroads for you whenever we intersect. Line for line and hashtagging, same about good kids or badass.
I got battle rappers, we got battle rappers. Nigga, we started battle rap. What's up?
King, with challenge is light book. And my aura on the Aurora Borealis. Ignore the challenge, hype me up. Nigga, I want all the value, cut it out. This for the record, we ain't talking songs and albums or performing ballads. Just best oratorical talent. It's like, at me ain't valid, can't chase him. So bank on him to come and get that check. Then he puts it all in the balance. To fall over flat, tried to climb the mountain and he broke his back.
Hey yo, I'm not even gonna hold you. Hey yo, word to my mother. You don't even say that no more, fam. I gotta bring back the 90s slang, my dude. Word to my mommy, Dukes. Word to mom. How many these I already say that shit no more. These used to be like, word to my mother. Yo, word to my mother. My motherfucking NY flag. Now, hold on. I have to get that off. Hey, yo. I'm not even gonna hold you. I just looked up at the scoreboard, and I'm not even gonna hold you. I feel like New York is up. We up right now. And it's so crazy because the West is up too, right? We see what y'all got going on out there, man. Come on, we would be remiss to not acknowledge the fact that Kendrick Lamar, who's currently leading the West, right? The king of the West, right? You know, he's out here, he's waving the flag for the West Coast, and, you know, he's doing what he has to do with it, man. He's out here, man. It's amazing. The tour, they're breaking records, and all that's great. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, let's not ever forget, Kendrick came to New York early on in his career. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, when he was still K. Dot, okay? Even Kendrick, you know what I'm saying? He had to come to the Mecca to basically, you know what I'm saying, see where this shit started at, quite frankly. Yeah, absolutely. So much so, and he was so inspired by that visit, okay, that let me just remind you that Kendrick Lamar's first mixtape, I don't know if it was his first one though, I'm lying. It wasn't his first one. Kendrick Lamar, okay, the king of the West Coast currently, your king, okay, he paid homage to New York City, okay? They put out a whole mixtape and paid homage to the city at the end of the day, fam. Yeah. Even Kendrick know, you know what I'm saying, where this shit all started at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no sleep to NYC, do your Googles, the mixtape, you know what I'm saying, Kendrick and J-Rock, where they basically on there rapping over all NYC beats. And I say all that to say this. As long as we just keeping it rap, I'm here for it. I'm here for the sport. I'm here for the competitiveness. I'm here for the craft. I'm here for all of that, you know. Hopefully, you know, we could just keep it. We could just keep it at rap, you know, and it doesn't get anywhere else. Because obviously, like I said, you know, that last battle that we did see, you know, we wasn't necessarily anticipating for it to get to where it eventually got. And all I'm saying is this, you know, right now it's a goddamn 8-on-1 and shit, 8-on-3, whatever the case may be. It's a handicap match. Although I will say Joey definitely is up 3-0, and that might be New York bias. It definitely is. It is what it is. Say, you know, I feel like it might not just be biased though, because I feel like I heard a couple of cats from out west speaking on this. Yeah, absolutely. Everybody wasn't feeling the daylight response out there. From what I heard, you know what I'm saying? There's a few people that they don't really fuck with daylight. They don't even feel like daylight is a representation of the West Coast necessarily, right? But we know Joey is a great representation of our shit, you know what I'm saying? Listen, right now, Joey Badass currently is waving the flag for NYC rap. We gotta give him that. Joey Badass is the king of New York, fam. Right now. May 20th, 2025, absolutely. You know, he's putting on for the city, you know. I do feel like, you know, I'm looking forward to an album at this point now, right? You doing all this rapping. I would just assume that an album is probably on the way. I don't know, man. I don't know. We ain't get a soul tape this summer. I mean, well, the summer ain't really. We still got time for that, I guess, right? The only way Fab is excused from this battle is if we got another soul tape on the way or something. If you're not working on a soul tape right now, I just feel like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Joey Badass is the king of New York right now, fam. All you other New York rappers, take a back seat to Joey Badass, because when it was time to rap, okay? And when the East Coast, when they came to kick over our buildings again, Joey Badass, okay, was the one that, you know, basically held the coast down, fam. Come on, man. I'm not done with new music, though. What's this? So I see here, all right, as far as new music, Common, his B album, 20th anniversary. So Common is set to release the 20th anniversary version of his classic B album, with 11 additional tracks on it, which I do feel like is dope. You know, obviously Common, you know, hip hop pioneer, one of the true MCs in the game. And I do feel like if Common was from the West Coast or the East Coast, he would probably be, I mean, technically East Coast, yeah, he's from Chicago, that would be the East Coast. But what I'm saying is this: if he was from New York or LA specifically, Common would have been in this battle, fam, 100%. You don't really gotta ask for Common. He might get in this shit anyway, realistically, man. Them 11 new tracks on this shit, he might have a response on one of those. Yeah, Common is definitely one of those, and he just enjoys to rap. Like, he genuinely, and I've seen Common live at this point. I can say that, you know, I checked that off on my bucket list and all that. He kicked a freestyle at that Hip Hop 50 that, quite frankly, I might need to go back and listen to that shit after this, man. He went crazy on that stage, man. He shouted out every artist from the beginning to the end. He did that shit in alphabetical order and shit. It was a freestyle, man. Snoop Dogg, you know, one of the pioneers of the West Coast. You know, he's been on a promo run, you know, and he's been sitting down. He's been doing interviews. He just recently put out an album as well. This album has 21 tracks on it. Is It a Crime is the name of this album. I have not listened to the full album yet. I will do that because this is Snoop Dogg. I feel like Snoop Dogg, you know, he has a certain equity in the game where it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying, whenever Snoop Dogg, you got to tap in to what Uncle Snoop is doing and what Uncle Snoop got going on. And basically, based off of the promo run, like I said, I've been watching him, like, you know, on his press run and all that, you know, and basically what it seems to me is that this is an album that's kind of like, I want to say that this is his way of, not his way of, but this is kind of like a response album in a way to, you know, something that happened recently. What was this? Oh yeah, the Trump inauguration, right? So obviously he went to that, you know, he performed at the Trump inauguration, and that was a whole controversy. I feel like we came on here and we spoke about that. So that kind of influenced the title of the album and certain tracks on the album as well, right? Now, personally, if I'm being honest, for me personally, I just don't feel like Snoop Dogg is not at that point in his career where he needs to necessarily explain or put out an album to, you know what I'm saying? Basically, I feel like I almost want to say that this is his like fuck you album, basically, based off of what I've been hearing and how he's been, you know, explaining on his promo run and shit. Like, he was just on Ebro, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ebro, Apple Music, and they was sitting down and they was talking about it, and, you know, Ebro brought up the Trump inauguration specifically, and I feel like, you know, based on the way he answered that, yeah, this does seem like it's kind of like his way of saying, like, you know what I'm saying, listen, I've been in this game for 30 goddamn years. You know what I'm saying? I did one thing basically that people weren't in favor of, and y'all was so quick to basically throw me to the wolves. Well, basically, this is my way of saying fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I'm Snoop Dogg. I'm a fucking legend. You know what I'm saying? I did what I had to do. It was business, and eat a dick, basically, right? That's kind of the energy that I got. I heard like 2 tracks or whatever the case may be. I'm going to check this album out at some point. Listen, there's been a lot of music, to say the least. I've been decoding bars and shit. You know what I'm saying? Daylight done dropped 15 tracks, fam. Needless to say, I've been preoccupied decoding bars and all type of shit, okay? We will get to the Snoop Dogg Is It a Crime album at some point. But I have not yet heard that entire album. Shout out to Snoop Dogg, man. Obviously, one of the true legends in the game. All right, at this point, I'm not gonna hold you. My brain is fried, bro. I need to eat now. All right, man. So as far as new music, we have a whole lot to look forward to. I'm still looking for, like I said, you know. I hate to keep singling this, you know, J. Cole out, but I mean, listen, man, that is the guy. That is the big question mark right now when it comes to, as far as, you know, album releases. As far as I'm concerned, you know, I feel like right now, you know, it's a lot of rap going on. What better time for J. Cole to pop out with, you know, with just some raps, man? You know, this is kind of like, this is your lane. This is a clear path. This is a fast break for J. Cole right now. Everybody's rapping right now. What better time? I don't know, man. Snoop Dogg dropped the album. Come on, fam. You made Snoop drop before the Fall Off drop. We got Is It a Crime before the Fall Off? It's crazy. I ain't even gonna hold you, fam. 106 in Park anniversary. Yeah, so 106 in Park, they're set to have a, you know, their anniversary show. I don't have the date in front of me. I probably should have that, considering the fact that this is on my docket. When is this? Because I feel like I definitely need to tune into this. That is going to be taking place June the 6th. So that's not too far from now. That's about 2 weeks from now. Definitely looking forward to that. Obviously, 106 in Park is a legendary show and a staple in hip-hop culture. Okay? We also have J.I.D., brand new J.I.D. album, announced for August the 8th. That's the day after my birthday, you know. That's 3 days before hip-hop's birthday. Okay? That's a very, very special time right there to drop an album. It is. And J.I.D. will be releasing an album August the 8th. That's all I got for this episode, man. Listen. Quite frankly, we came, we saw, and we conquered, okay? I came on here. I let y'all know where I was at with the whole situation. Obviously, like I said, we still have the playoffs underway. Game 1 is actually on right now. I definitely missed it. The fourth quarter might be on right now. I might be able to catch the fourth quarter. I might be able to like do this right now though in real time, actually, and give y'all like a quick update on like what's going on. I didn't even really think to do that. I'm not sure why I didn't think to do that. We're getting ready to close this episode out. Like I said, man, we got a lot to look forward to as far as music is concerned. You know, if one of your 4 current teams are still in the NBA playoffs, you definitely got something to look forward to, because we got a potential new first-time NBA champion getting ready to be crowned. And I do feel like, as I just said that, I need an update on the score. Let me just get the, hold on, what is this? What's the score? Because if the score is close, then I'll tune in. Oh, they at halftime. Oh, I'm about to go watch the game, fam. I'm off this, fam. This has been episode 83 of the Everybody Can Go podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been your host, Willmatic TV. Stay tuned and keep it locked. Everybody Can Go podcast. This has been episode 83. I have been Willmatic TV. Until the next time, until the next round, peace, love, and prosperity. Everybody Can Go. #1 independent show. You know, 1. I know what this is.
It just still got me a little confused, you know what I mean?
Thank you for tuning in.
Okay, yeah. Been in my mind lately. Been in my mind. Yeah, harder to find lately. Yeah. Wrote this accompanied by a little reefer, my beast pill speaker, and my 200 milliliter Hennessy. I hit your little chica, told that bitch to bend that key, to proceed to bend the knees. I've been a G, living life the way I please. Came from the middle of the east like I'm Lebanese. Bottom line, leave MCs live by demise. The thousand times if we talking about their rhyme for rhyme. My stats combined, got stocks and bonds. Multiply my worth 10 times by 29, nigga. I ain't lying, I'm already on my 7th figure. But I got other things on my mind that's much bigger.
Like being a voice to this voiceless generation, and fill the void, I can't avoid this temptation. When I exploit, I explode off detonation. Push my buttons and I go off with no explanation.
New York, stand
been
up.
in my mind lately. Yeah, been in my mind. So harder to find lately. Harder to find. You best keep running and try to hold me back, but I just keep coming. Yeah, niggas on that act and they just be running. Push you in them tracks, but it all means nothing.
Yeah. Cold cases, murder niggas on a daily basis. Luminol flow, no traces. I am the black light, my whole career off a crack, right? Olympic diving in this money, watch me jackknife. My rap life ain't like yours. I'm really going home to 5 stories and bright walls. Ty James paintings, he say he got my one of ones waiting. While y'all thinking James Evans Jr. 4.5 carats of tumor. At Nick Bendy like Slick Rick the ruler. Say less about your jewelers, you overpaid for it. While they ignore it, your shit is just made for TV, think Drea for it. VIP sections can't be recorded. You might catch a housewife where niggas paying like they weighing, drop it outright. Get your count right, we can talk numbers. Single file out of my digits till next summer, niggas.
I'm like the Wizard of Oz on the yellow brick road, ride slow with the Iron Man. New flows for your dome right out the frying pan. Got that free smoke, you inhale to your diaphragm. I'm eager now, had to change my diet plan. Never lying, I am lying fan. Coming for the biggest cats in the food chain. Kill them all, the only thing left the food's chain. And who to blame? Is it written raps or ancient artifacts? And niggas ripping tracks and spitting all the facts. Tripping out my cardiac, arrest is not needed till my body flat. For now, killer shows stacking body bags. Cassie with the zombies at. Underground kings, niggas honor that. My forward thinker make a more Rwanda back. Way ahead of my time, I should pass niggas.
Everybody
it's a daily reminder that I am that nigga.
The next
Bottom
show.
man team.
1.